Update viewers, we do have a new tornado warning. This is downstream from the warning that's impacting the Rolla area right now. So we now have a tornado warning in effect for southeastern Marys County, northeastern Phelps County. This does include St. James. I'm going to get that information pulled up. Still worried that there could be also maybe hail up to tennis ball size. Moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Again, this is a radar indicated tornado, so we're still seeing a circulation on radar. It is located over Rolla, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. So new scan coming in just then. You can see it looks like that circulation is now on the northeast side of Rolla. And I'm going to go to a different radar view. It's on the northeast side of Rolla. And I apologize in advance. North Y. I'm not sure how to say that. North Y appears that the circulation is right on top of or just to the southeast of North Y on I-44. So here's Rolla. That little bend right there is where the circulation is. And you can see that pretty clearly. Again, we're using the St. Louis radar now.
Jamie, let me cut you off. Fire department in Rolla are reporting tornado on the ground in southeast of Rolla. That is from the fire department in Rolla. They're reporting that this tornado is on the ground, and southeast of the town.
Well, and let's keep in mind, again, this is a very fast-moving thunderstorm, so I don't think it's on the southeast side.
It was, and it has now moved. It is flying by.
So if you're watching, again, that storm, that tornado risk, sounds like we may have a tornado on the ground reported in the Rolla area. That tornado is likely now northeast of Rolla, very close to
Rolla Police Department just sent a message, roof off a house. So there is damage that's coming in. They're trying to keep us updated as quickly as we can. This is a tornado. We're gonna see that polygon kind of switch to a purple confirmed tornado very soon by the National Weather Service. It's impacting Rolla right now.
Yeah, well, it looks like the tornado threat, again, I think it's now downstream from Rolla. I think it was over Rolla. That's where we're getting reports of damage in Rolla, but I think that tornado is now located right here, very close to I-44, probably just north of I-44 and tracking northeast. So looks like we've had maybe a tornadic thunderstorm move right across the heart of Rolla, producing a tornado, and now that storm and potential tornado, likely a tornado on the ground, is now moving across I-44, moving away from Rolla. But if you live in areas between Vichy and St. James, you can see the new tornado warning coming in for southeastern Marys County into northeastern Phelps County. This new tornado warning is because of that storm right there that just hit Rolla, likely with a tornado. And that tornado is now moving across northeastern Phelps County. It's crossed I-44. We're kind of in a weird spot on radar where it looks like it's a little hard to see where that circulation is, but I'm going to guess that I'm going to see if I can get some, it looks like it's west of St. James, and it looks like it's over County Road 2170. Let's see if I can get something else to pop in for me. Sands Road, County Road 2200. These are all, let's see if I can get it, High Point Boulevard. These are all roads just to the north of I-44 that is in the vicinity of where this tornado is occurring. In fact, I think that tornado is now actually just to the north-northeast of those road locations that I just listed. Looks like this tornado will pass to the west of St. James. It's moving northeast away from I-44. It's over a primarily rural area of northern Phelps County. I'm going to go to a different radar view. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to swap this over. Come on. Let's see if I can get some better data coming in.
What makes it so hard is Rolla is really in between two radars. Yeah. So you got the Springfield radar, you got the St. Louis radar, and by the time the beam reaches Rolla, it's not pointed at the ground. So we're having this kind of, it makes it even harder forecasting what's going on in that area, but a lot of reports damage in Rolla.
I think based on what I can see on radar here, I think that tornado is very close to B Highway, U Highway. There's an intersection here, B Highway and EE Highway. That's very close to where the tornado is. This is just south of Royal, and it looks like it's going to be heading toward Mount Pleasant Ford, Jake Prairie, Oak Hill. Again, it looks like it's going to clip southeasternmost Marys County and then get back into, it'll move into southeast Marys County and then back into Phelps County before it passes on into areas southeast of Owensville. But yeah, it looks like we've still got tornado-producing thunderstorm, again, moving across northern Phelps County and now southeastern Marys County. Just kind of hoping I can get, let's see, I've not seen the CC drop. I've not seen that, but Matt told us, I mean, we were getting reports from, you said Highway Patrol?
Rolla PD.
Rolla PD of roof damage, roof blown off?
Roof off of a house in Rolla, and they also reported they saw the tornado on the ground. Jamie, I'm also looking at radar, and we got to pay attention to over in Texas County. It looks like I'm starting to see some hints of circulation.
Okay.
I don't think that's tornadic yet, but it's at the point where you're starting to see some signs.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's starting to tighten up over there. That's
so this is near Success, south of Roby.
I'm trying to follow this down the line real quickly, see other areas, and right now that's the one that's screaming out where we may have something else that's going to form down the line over in Texas County.
So yeah, Matt's highlighting, okay, see the storm near, here's the storm near Roby, Success, circulation showing up right there. So we may very well have another tornadic thunderstorm trying to develop. That is in northwestern Texas County to the west-southwest of Licking. Again, a heads up for folks in areas of northern Texas County between Plato and Licking, watching a thunderstorm that may be trying to organize. Not tornado warned yet, but as Matt mentioned, certainly one to watch. These storms have become tornadic pretty quickly, and we've had, at least with this particular severe thunderstorm moving through areas northeast of Rolla now, this has been a tornadic thunderstorm that's probably dropped several tornadoes along its path. It looks like the most recent one may be cutting a path across Rolla itself. And looks like that tornado threat is now between Vichy and St. James, tracking northeast. And this is what's incredible. It's tracking northeast at 70 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and let's get that tracked out for folks. Looks like that circulation about right in there. And I mean, look how much ground that thing is covering over the next hour. Should be near Royal, about 8:10. Oak Hill, 8:18. Owensville, 8:24 this evening. Again, if you are watching and you're wondering, hey, do I take this seriously? Yes, take this seriously. This particular thunderstorm has had a history of producing tornadoes, and we're now getting actual reports of damage. We've seen, using our storm tracker, this is in the Seymour area, of damage at least near the highway, at least some metal siding being blown off of probably a barn and located near the highway. So this has been a damaging thunderstorm that's likely produced 2, maybe 3 tornadoes now along its path. And Matt's been highlighting this storm right here in northwestern Texas County, northwest of Houston. That one's not going to bother the Houston area, but if you live in Success, up toward Licking and Boone, yeah, keep tabs on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like on velocity. See if there's anything that we need to be really concerned about here in the short term. I mean, I can see the couplet, and there it is right there. I mean, we're using, this is the Springfield radar, and that circulation is has tightened up. You can see here's Success. Mitchell's Corner right there, and this is the circulation. So this is probably moving very close to Success right now. Again, with radar, you're always looking a little bit back in time. It's a fast-moving thunderstorm too. This is probably moving through Success right now, and from there it will cross Highway 17, and it may run up Highway 32 for a time here across northern Texas County. If you live anywhere from Success east toward Lynch, north to Boone, east to Licking, continue to watch this.
Jamie, got an update for you. New tornado warning coming out for northern Dent, southern Phelps County. That's a new tornado warning that's going to be issued in the coming months with the National Service.
This is the probably the storm near Lake Spring, I'm guessing?
Let me try to find the velocity they're trying to hit on right there.
Yeah, it looks
northern
like,
Dent, southern Phelps.
Yeah, it looks like it's right there on the county line, very close to Lake Spring.
Yep, you're on it.
Yep, so that's it, right there near Highway 72. So if you're watching from Rolla, or St. James, this is a second tornadic thunderstorm here in Phelps County. So here's the first storm that crossed through Rolla, Looks like it's now on its way into northeastern Phelps County. Looks like it has passed to the north of St. James. New circulation showing up with this storm. This is Highway 72. New circulation showing up with this storm to the west of Lake Spring, there in southeastern Phelps County. That circulation will stay to the southeast of Rolla. So this isn't a case where Rolla, you're going to get hit again. I think that you've probably, I think the tornado risk is probably done with that storm that has just moved through your community, and the severe weather risk should quickly come down from there. But further south down Highway 72 in the Lake Spring area, new tornado warning just issued.
Speaking of Rolla, got some updates right now. Power lines are down, trees are down, damage to homes. I don't know how extensive those damages are. I'm also hearing reports of the town of St. James, where we're seeing kind of that thunderstorm go through right now. That town's without power. So heavy hail also being reported. Yeah, and we have a new tornado warning, and I think you've really hit on that. The one that's that second rotation that we're seeing
Texas
south.
County.
No. Talking about the Lake Phelps Dent. Yes, over by Lake Spring, the second one to come out.
Yeah, we're still watching that Texas County storm. It looks like that circulation is weakened maybe a little bit there, but I am concerned that thing will tighten up again, and
it's definitely trying. It's not there yet, but it's trying to tighten up.
Yep. So we right now we have 2 tornado warned storms. And it gets a little, as Matt said earlier, we're between, where these tornado warned storms are is between the radar site in Springfield and St. Louis. So, in that area, it kind of like our map wants to go back and forth between the 2 different radar sites. It's also at a place where we're hitting higher up in these storms. So we're not getting really close to the surface to see what's going on. But from what we can see at the elevation that we're seeing these storms, strong circulations aloft, and that could be contributing to a tornado being produced at the surface. And it looks like at least with the storm that went through Rolla, we had a tornado with that one move through Rolla. That's probably one of several tornadoes that dropped out of that particular thunderstorm that is now making its way through northeastern Phelps County. Going to a different radar view. They did, in fact, extend that tornado warning downstream away from St. James. This is for areas further east, basically running up and down I-44 and north of I-44. A new tornado warning just issued for areas from Cuba up towards Sullivan along I-44 for that particular thunderstorm that's been tornadic that's now north of St. James. I think for our area, the tornado risk with that lead storm is starting to move out of Phelps County. So I think from here on out, we may start to kind of focus our attention on, now that lead storm is now northeast of St. James, we're going to start turning our attention more toward this storm to the south. That storm showing up with a fairly strong circulation. It is tornado warned, and that is for areas of northwestern Dent County, southeastern Phelps County. That tornado warning does run through for another 20 minutes. It runs through 8:30. That storm is moving northeast at 55 miles per hour, so it's not quite as fast as the storm that went through the Rolla area. That one was moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. This Lake Spring thunderstorm that is potentially tornadic, it looks like the circulation is now located pretty close to Highway 72 north of Lake Spring. And tracking toward the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So tornado threat increasing now along Highway 72. Looks like the tornado will cross Highway 72 north of Lake Spring and then continue to track northeast at 55 miles per hour. And I'll draw that out. Again, it looks like it's located right about in there, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Let's see if we can get that all the way on there. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen, so we're going to have to broaden out our view a little bit more, clear that out, and let's try this again. Again, these storms are covering so much ground that it's hard to track them out with the methods that we have. Right about in there. So this gives you an idea. So it looks like for Phelps County residents, southeastern Phelps County, south of St. James, near the Winkler area, it's roughly the next 10 minutes that you guys are going to be under the gun. From there, it should move out of southeastern Phelps County and approach Steelville in about 20 minutes from now. So again, we're going to continue to track that particular thunderstorm. The tornadic thunderstorm to the north it looks like it has since moved out of Phelps County, or at least is in the process of moving out of Phelps County. And it looks like it's still kind of tracking just north of I-44. Looks like it will stay north of Cuba and south of Owensville. Kind of wanted to get, like, this is, that particular tornadic thunderstorm is now getting into northwestern Crawford County and will continue to push northeast into Franklin County. The second tornadic thunderstorm located over southeastern Phelps County near Lake Spring is going to be moving into Crawford County in probably under 10 minutes. From there, looking further southwest downstream, I was concerned about Texas County. There's still a circulation showing up. That circulation is located to the west of Licking.
I stepped out for a second. I don't know if you saw this. There's a tornado warning in northern Arkansas for Mountain Home, and then extended beyond that, there's a large tornado possible severe thunderstorm. So in Mountain Home, that's where we're seeing that area as well. I don't want to go to this shot now, but we do have our storm tracker that is on Highway P that is north of Seymour that has seen some of that damage. The area that we've heard of injuries, that's where our storm tracker is right now. Let's talk about these two tornado warnings before we go out to that shot.
I want to focus on the one down in Arkansas.
Yeah, let's cover that.
That circulation is intensifying. That circulation is moving across kind of the westernmost end of Mountain Home. Looks like it's approaching Highway 5 that runs northwest out of the Mountain Home area. Looks like it's approaching Highway 5 from the southwest. I think this is right now a radar indicated tornado, but you can see it. We have it highlighted here on our radar view. So here's Mountain Home. This is the circulation to the southeast of Bull Shoals. Here's Highway 5. Looks like it will be crossing Highway 5 over the next few minutes. I think we're going to be able to keep this portion of the storm that might be tornadic to the west and northwest of Mountain Home. It looks like it will cross between Bull Shoals and the Mountain Home area. You can see that tornado warning, though. It extends northeast across Baxter County, Clark Ridge, Gamaliel, Henderson, all in this tornado warning. And then from there, as Matt highlighted, there is a severe thunderstorm with a tornado possible tag, severe thunderstorm warning, which extends into eastern Ozark County as well as much of Howell County. Because here's the deal, folks. This isn't one of these scenarios where the storms spin up and then they spin down really quickly. This is a scenario where once these storms organize, they can continue to remain organized, continue to be threatened with tornadoes and very large hail for maybe hours, covering a lot of real estate as they move very quickly off to the northeast. This particular thunderstorm here in the Mountain Home area is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So the further south down this line that you get, the slower the forward motion on these thunderstorms and by extension the tornado threat. Drawing this out, this is 35 miles per hour. So it looks like here, this is Mountain Home, circulation located to the west of Highway 5, should track across northeastern Baxter County, and I think it's going to stay north of Mountain Home. Looks like it may get into Gamaliel, though. It looks like it's making kind of a beeline toward the Gamaliel area, and it should arrive in that area a little after 8:30 this evening. So if you live across areas from Mountain Home northeast up to Gamaliel in Baxter County, absolutely take this storm seriously. Get into your tornado safe space. We could have a tornado developing with this thunderstorm. It is tornado warned. Areas downstream from there, eastern Ozark County into Howell County, including the West Plains area, it looks like, especially around West Plains, I mean, this storm may be headed generally in your direction. So it's certainly worth watching. West Plains down toward Brandsville, worth watching this storm and how it tracks into southwestern Howell County, and also how it tracks across maybe northwestern Fulton County.
Getting active, Jamie. We knew once these storms got really east of Highway 65, they're going to run into a more favorable environment to develop tornadoes.
Yeah.
There's another tornado warning. I believe this one's just out of our viewing area, but just barely in Johnson County, Arkansas. So even further down to the south of Mountain Home, we're seeing another tornado warning that's been issued. That is the third one that we have at this moment right now. Fourth if you go further up closer to St. Louis. So it's this area where things are getting messy, where things are starting to get really bad. I want to make it clear, if we have any viewers in Springfield and Ozark and Branson, if you're along 65 or to the west of 65, you're going to be safe for tonight. Your opportunity to see a tornado has already come. It has already passed. It's for these people that are still off and to the east, really east of Highway 63. We got to get this line of thunderstorms to push through your area. And once that does, you're safe for the night. But until that happens, we are concerned about multiple places where we can see a tornado. We heard the confirmed tornado reports in Rolla. We had one in Webster and Wright County. We're seeing now tornado indications into Mountain Home. Earlier, it's looking like a tornado tried to produce into Texas County. So there's multiple places along this line where we have that tornado threat. Right now, it's mostly in Mountain Home where we saw that tornado threat earlier. If we can, I heard that the storm tracker was in Seymour around Highway P. Can we try to pull up that shot and kind of see what the storm tracker is seeing right now? And oh man, there's a lot of lightning. That looks like hail as well. Let me.
Looks like you've got some folks. Okay, that may be like some different reporting crews right there.
So I heard a report earlier, Jamie, of a tree that fell on a car and someone was trapped in that car. I don't know if that's where they went to, but traffic definitely seems backed up. You're seeing people run around out there. It is still coming down in Seymour. That's really just north of Seymour and Highway P. And that's an area that we've heard of injuries occurring. What was that? We got a boat going by. I guess someone's trying to go to the lake for this weekend. Just disregard all the storms that have been happening. But Parker Pageant out in, he was in the storm tracker earlier today. We have the storm tracker back out in Seymour. It's really this line of thunderstorms. We got to push it through. And once you're on the backside of this line, you're going to be safe for the night. But it has been a struggle getting this line moved through for portions really east of Highway 65.
Yeah, and you know, Matt, you mentioned still. I mean, I'm still able to see a circulation with that storm west of Licking. Not tornado warned, but I mean, still worth watching. Further south, tornado warned storm continues in the Mountain Home area. Now, I think the tornado threat is passing just to the north of Mountain Home, northwest of Mountain Home. Hopefully, that holds true. There is another tornado warned storm further south. Now, this is out of our viewing area, but I bring it up because for some of our viewers, and we have viewers down toward Melbourne, Arkansas, certainly Salem and Ash Flat, that thunderstorm that is tornado warned back south of Jasper, that thunderstorm is going to be tracking in your direction. So this being kind of like one of those tail end thunderstorms, it may maintain itself. I mean, it may be in a favorable spot to continue to be tornadic. So again, kind of a heads up, anywhere from really like Searcy County, southern Baxter, into Izard and Sharp County. I mean, I would watch that storm that's kind of heading in your general direction. We have other tornado warned storms. We have the one that's located here in the Mountain Home area. Again, that circulation still very apparent. Looks to be kind of on the northwestern fringes of Mountain Home. I'm going to go back over to this image, and hopefully this will show us pretty nicely. It looks a little dated. I hate that, but it looks like as we zoom in, you can see Mountain Home right there. I'm hoping we can get some. There you go. It looks like that circulation is located roughly in this area. A little messy to see there, but Russell Lane, Canny Baker Road, Arkansas Avenue. These are all roads that are in the vicinity, kind of on the northwestern edge of Mountain Home. That are in the vicinity of where this possible tornado was occurring. It's radar indicated. We don't have any ground truth yet, but that could quickly change. That circulation's still fairly tight. It's still relatively deep. So again, the odds are that it could produce a tornado very quickly, even if it's not producing one at this time. So if you live, especially say Mountain Home, north up toward Clark Ridge, east toward Gamaliel, Henderson, that spot there in northeastern Baxter County, remain kind of hunkered down as this possible tornado moves through your area. It's moving northeast at 35 miles per hour, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get it through your area versus storms further north. And kind of going back to, again, a broader view, we've still got the tornado-warned storms, and this is good news. The tornado-warned storms that were in Phelps County, there were 2 of them, have now since moved out of Phelps County. One is in Crawford County, the other is in southeastern Gasconade County. So we're going to kind of let those move on by. We're going to continue to assess what damage may have occurred, especially with that lead tornadic thunderstorm that impacted areas like Rolla, southwest down through Pulaski County and points even further southwest. We're going to focus our attention, I think, from here on out. I still want to, again, that storm there in northern Texas County, I'll go to that one, because they haven't issued a warning with it, but
that storm's been trying to produce for, I don't know, I think I highlighted a half hour ago, Jamie, where you're seeing hints of rotation. I don't think it's fully at the point where it is producing.
And it's in a it's in a bad spot. I mean, it's in a weird spot between radar sites, so we're not able to sample as well as we'd like. But using the St. Louis radar, you can see here's Edgar Springs. So we're looking at Phelps County right there. This is Dent County, Salem over here.
Jamie mentioned that. Patty, our weather watcher, just said wall cloud reported northeast of Salem. That doesn't mean it's a tornado.
Oh, northeast of Salem, Missouri or Arkansas?
Oh, that's a good question. She didn't clarify. That is a very good question.
I would guess that it was probably that storm that was tornado warned in Dent County. I'm going to guess that that's the storm.
Yeah, and that does line up. If it's north of Salem, over into Dent and moving in closer to past Phelps County.
But yeah, again, I hate to not. I don't want to lose sight of this one story. It's not tornado warned, but it's still. I mean, there's still a fairly deep, strong circulation showing up north of Licking. Looks like it's right there on that circulation's right there on the intersection of counties, Texas County, Phelps County, and Dent County. Here I'll pull up our pointer real quick. This is where that. Let's see if I can get this to go. This is about where that circulation is. Looks like it's now just to the southwest of Lenox, and I mean maybe it's not quite strong enough to be tornado warned, but it's still there. And I just want folks to know in northern Dent County, this other circulation, not tornado warned, but this other circulation west of Salem is going to be crossing through northwestern Dent County. Further south, back to the Mountain Home storm. I don't know that we've gotten any additional updates on that particular thunderstorm, but the circulation still very apparent northwest of Mountain Home. Again, that storm is moving more slowly, 35 mile per hour movement to the northeast. Looks like the circulation is now located just to the north of Mountain Home, to the southwest of Gamelia. So to me, if you're watching between Mountain Home and Gamelia, I mean, you're under the gun right now. Heavy rain, lightning, hail, and a tornado risk is moving through your area currently. That tornado risk is starting to move away from Mountain Home. So I think we, at least for the short term, can say severe weather threat easing in the Mountain Home area, but it does remain for areas further east. Over toward Henderson and Gamelia, especially up toward Gamelia. Again, this storm moving northeast at 35. That circulation looks to be making a beeline across northeastern Baxter County in the general direction of Gamelia. Currently, it is centered right on top of State Highway 201, which kind of runs north-south down toward the Mountain Home area. State Highway 201 is approximately where that circulation is. And even though it's not updating on our on-air product, I can go ahead and still highlight what I'm seeing off-air, and it looks like it's about right in here. So I'd put it probably right about in there. That's approximately where the tornadic circulation is located right now, very close to Highway 201. And in fact, it looks like it's probably crossing Highway 201 right now, still moving directly toward Gamelia. I'll take this off. And let's see if we can kind of time this thing out again. You don't have too much longer if you live in and around Gamelia before this possible tornado is going to be moving through. Moving northeast, 35 miles per hour. That should put it pretty close to Gamelia in about 20 minutes. So if you're watching from the Norfolk Lake area, north of Henderson, let's see what highway that is. We got Highway 101, I think, running north-south from Henderson up toward Gamelia. This circulation should be moving across that highway in about 20 minutes. And that means, it looks like we got a new tornado warning that was just issued now for southeastern Ozark County, southwestern Howell County, and that's because this storm is going to continue downstream across the state line into those areas. So new tornado warning just issued. This does include areas from Caulfield south down to the state line. New tornado warning just issued, and that is for that tornado warned storm that's currently just to the north of Mountain Home, moving toward Gamelia.
Jamie, I know we had a tornado warning in place, but things are starting to get interesting over in Hartville too. That cell that we've been talking about. If you can look at GR too, I mean, it's starting to indicate that, hey, this is a place we got to watch. Look at the inrod on that.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, let's go ahead and highlight that because they may pull the trigger on that one here pretty soon.
I would be surprised if they didn't pull the trigger on that. So closer to Hartville, that's an area that we're seeing possible tornado. I imagine the National Weather Service is going to issue a tornado warning there.
Yeah, very close to Hartville. Golly, it's tough. I mean, it's a little bit of a messy image right there, but at the very least, there's a couplet, and that is maybe just east of Hartville. You can see it. I mean, it's a little messy. It looks like we just lost that radar image. I tell you what, that's been a mess. State Highway 38, but it looks like that circulation that you're talking about, right on top of Highway 38 running east out of the Hartville area in Texas County. Not tornado warned, but certainly has that look. If you live here in northeastern Wright County, down Highway 38 running northeast away from Hartville, anywhere from, say, Manus down to Dawson, continue to keep close tabs on the weather. This could become tornado warned shortly. Again, that storm now centered over Hartville, moving northeast, probably about 40-45 miles per hour. And I know it looks like we did get it looks like we got a
not as intimidating when you switch to kind of get the radar side out of Springfield, but it's still enough there that we got to keep an eye on that.
Let's see, time here was 7:30. Seeing some damage reported also already in the Hartville area. It looks like that was about an hour ago from a different thunderstorm, but again, still.
And speaking of the Hartville area, if we have the storm tracker ready, I believe Jared Henry is out there and around Highway P is where the storm tracker was and saw some damage. Yeah, you can see some more damage footage right there. That looks like, well, let me actually get closer to the screen so I can start to see it. Jared, if you're there, if you could talk to us, love to hear a report of kind of what you're seeing outside. Wow, we're seeing people, oh man, it looks like they're going through the rubble in that right on the shot. Jared, if you're there, if you can hear me, kind of tell me what you've been seeing. We don't have Jared where we can go to right now, but look at that. We have a live shot of people kind of digging through the rubble. This is on Highway P. Oh man, this is terrible. This is just a terrible thing to see. This is the area that we have heard of injuries occurring. Haven't been able to confirm that at the time. It's just right now just kind of a spotter report saying, hey, this is an area where we saw a lot of structural damage. There's a structural damage, and they also mentioned that there was some injuries into this area. This is over in Seymour, and man, this is not good to see, Jamie.
Yeah, and we don't want to lose sight of what's going on also further south, north and east of Mountain Home. That circulation is, I think it's trying to tighten up. Now, we have tornado warnings in effect for northeastern Baxter County, for areas northeast away from Mountain Home, now into the Bakersfield, Caulfield area, north of the state line. We're talking southeast Ozark County, southwest Howell County. Those are that's a new tornado warning for that same storm. But that circulation there north, it's now located northeast of Mountain Home, looks like it has tightened up some. And it is still tracking generally toward Gamelia. It may go just to the west and northwest of Gamelia, but still looking at a tornado threat possibly increasing with this thunderstorm northeast of Mountain Home and heading in the general direction of Gamelia and Bakersfield.
Downrange from that would be West Plains. I just heard word from someone from the West Plains schools. They're letting us know that the FEMA shelters at West Plains are open. If you're in West Plains, you're worried about the system, you want to get into a shelter, you're downrange of it. The shelters, the schools for West Plains are being opened right now. That's a place you can go to.
Let's track this out. I mean, I haven't done that in a little while. This, again, looks like the circulation may be tightening up here to the west-southwest of Gamelia, actually to the southwest of Gamelia. It looks like it's located roughly, I mean, it's bearing down on Gamelia. Again, the image that I'm showing you on air right now is a little old. I've got a more updated one here off screen, and that circulation, I'll go ahead and kind of highlight it, but that circulation appears to be right about here, and it is tracking northeast at 35 miles per hour. So it's a little slower than the other storms this evening. Gamelia looks like it'll be in your area in the next few minutes. So we've been talking about how you need to get in your tornado safe space, stay in your tornado safe space. The tornado risk is increasing right now in your community, and then it should quickly come to an end by 8:45. Now, it looks like in about 5 to 10 minutes, it will cross out of Arkansas and into southeastern Ozark County. So areas southwest of Bakersfield, I think we're going to be looking at a potentially tornadic thunderstorm moving into southeastern Ozark County in about 10 to 15 minutes. And then from there, it will travel northeast into southwestern Howell County in about the next 20 to 25 minutes. So if you are watching from Gamelia, you're under the gun right now. Bakersfield, Caulfield, it's going to be in your area in about the next 15 minutes or so. It's moving northeast at 35 miles per hour, so slower movement, but it's still trucking along, and it will be in your area, Bakersfield, Caulfield, in about the next 15 minutes as it tracks toward the northeast. And from what I can see, it looks like the circulation on it, fairly impressive, has tightened up. I will take this information off and see if I can show in a different way what I'm seeing off camera. Okay, that's a little better. So this product right here, this shows, basically looking at the volume scan, all the different scans on radar, it shows where the best rotational couplets are lining up. And that highlights where the higher likelihood for a tornado, if it's occurring, to be happening. And you can see here's Gamelia. This is the area of rotation just to the southwest of Gamelia, and it has intensified, and it will track across this area. So looks like it's going to be making its way maybe roughly parallel to Highway 101, and it may move right through Gamelia over the next few minutes. Looks like it's doing that right now. Looks like that tornado, if we've got one with this storm, is moving through Gamelia right now.
Jamie, I don't want to draw attention away from that area, but we have a new tornado warning that has been issued in Dent County, just north of Salem. That one has just been issued as well.
So that is the storm that we were tracking in Texas County. It's finally tightened up enough where they've issued a tornado warning with that particular storm. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to our radar view here.
Multiple tornado warnings at this time. So we're having to bounce back and forth. We're talking about northern Arkansas. Now we're bringing you guys back up closer into Dent County, where we have the new tornado warning that has just been issued.
Now, for the time being, we can say Phelps County is in the clear. For the time being, I say that because we've still got
some more thunderstorms coming their way.
We've still got storms kind of trailing back toward Wright County. So this isn't cleanly moving through as nicely as we would like it to be, but this is what we've got. This storm in Dent County, this is the one that we were tracking. We saw the circulation there near Success, tracked it across northern Texas County, passing north of Licking, and now it looks like it's going to pass just to the north of Salem. Let's scope that out and see what it looks like. And I believe we're looking at the St. Louis radar site. Getting our little pointer back out. Looks like this is approximately where, if we got a tornado developing, that's where it's developing, just to the north-northwest. Okay, looks like it's right about in here, just to the north-northwest of Salem. Looks like it's between Highway 72 and Highway 68. So we may have a developing tornado north of Salem in Dent County. So Salem, Missouri. Possible tornado, it's radar indicated at this time. Possible tornado between Highway 72 and Highway 68 north of Salem. So if you live, again, in that area, particularly north of Salem, here along Highway 68, please get into your tornado safe space. The risk of a tornado will be increasing quickly over the next few minutes as this storm makes its way northeast. I haven't checked the forward speed on it. It is moving northeast at 65. So the storms that are further north on this line, they're moving at roughly 60 to 70 miles per hour. So the storms up near Rolla, down towards Salem, those storms are moving northeast at roughly 60 to 70 miles per hour, very, very fast. The storms that are further south, kind of lagging behind a bit, those storms are moving more slowly at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. We're still tracking a potential tornado in two different areas. One, now moving out of Baxter County. Looks like that tornado threat, again, moving now through Gamelia, should move into southeastern Ozark County, southwestern Howell County. That is one area of concern. The other area of concern, northern Dent County, possible tornado, radar indicated, moving by Salem, Missouri. Looks like it's crossing Highway 68 at this time. So again, two tornado warned storms in the area. I am going to go back to this one that's located here near Gamelia because that one has the stronger circulation with it. I'm most concerned about it. It looks like the possible tornado with this storm is now located northeast of Gamelia. It continues to move roughly down. Highway 101 is located between Gamelia and Bakersfield and should make its way into southeastern Ozark County. So if you live in southeastern Ozark County near the Bakersfield area, east into areas of southwestern Howell County, south of Caulfield, possible tornado moving through your area over the next 15 minutes or so. This storm again moving northeast at 35. I'll go ahead and track this out. Looks like it is now located to the northeast of Gamelia, and it's moving roughly like this. And so with that path, it looks like it'll be in the Bakersfield, in the vicinity of Bakersfield by about 8:47. So we're sitting right now, we're sitting at 8:39. About 8 minutes from now, possible tornado passing either near or just to the south of Bakersfield. From there, it looks like it may stay just to the south-southeast of Caulfield, moving through that area into southwestern Howell County in about 15 minutes. So Bakersfield, east into southwestern Howell County in the Caulfield area, you're under the gun. Possible tornado. Storm moving now out of northeastern Baxter County. Will be crossing through southeastern Ozark County and into southwestern Howell County over the next 5 to 15 minutes. Possible tornado. At this stage, it's a little messy. I'm really curious to see what we may have a CC drop with that particular storm. What that means is radar may be sensing some debris with this, what's currently a radar indicated tornado. But we may be looking at either a developing tornado or one that has been on the ground. It looks like I'm going to say it looks like we've got a CC drop. I think we've got a CC drop to the southwest of Bakersfield. Tornado, I'm going to guess that we've got a tornado on the ground or have had a tornado on the ground here in northeastern Baxter County. That is now crossing the state line. Looks like it may be making a beeline toward Bakersfield. If you live in and
that
around
latest scan
Bakersfield,
is strong. That is the potential of a strong tornado.
if you live in and around Bakersfield, take action right now. I think we may have a tornado on the ground. Circulation has intensified, and it looks like we may have a CC drop on radar, meaning we have a debris signature on radar.
Jamie, National Weather Service confirmed it. It. So they saw the CC drop too. That is a confirmed tornado that's moving into Bakersfield right now. It is also a strong tornado. That is a they upgraded it to considerable. Confirmed tornado, considerable tag on that as well. So National Weather Service, they're agreeing with us. They're seeing a strong tornado. It is confirmed.
Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, again, we're using different radar sources. I want to give the most up-to-date information. And right now it looks like That tornado, which has now been confirmed through radar, debris is being sensed by radar. That tornado is now on the state line. It's crossing out of Baxter County into southeastern Ozark County. It's still located southwest of Bakersfield, but it will be in the Bakersfield area in the next 10 minutes. You don't have much time to take shelter, take action. Looks like a tornado is going to move through areas near Bakersfield. In fact, it looks like it's moving into the southwestern side of Bakersfield right now. Still indications of a very strong circulation. I think we still have a debris signature on radar, and that is moving into the Bakersfield area right now. We could have a tornado on the ground moving into Bakersfield, coming in from the southwest, will cross very quickly through Bakersfield. Looks like that tornado is now located to...
Jamie, that is 100% a tornado. There is a spotter that has video of that tornado contacting the Bakersfield area. So that is not just radar confirmed, that is spotter confirmed at this point.
Okay.
Trying to get the footage now, but
yeah,
it's
yeah, and I
strong
can tell you, I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go to this rotation product. I hope this is lagging a little bit too, but you can see again. This is what we're seeing. We're seeing this strong rotation showing up on radar. Now that is located right here. This is what's moving into the Bakersfield area. So it looks like we've got a tornado moving into Bakersfield right now. It has now crossed into Missouri. It is now moving into Bakersfield. Looks like it will be moving east of Highway 101 here shortly and into southwestern Howell County. We're going to go back to different velocity view. Hopefully this is a little bit more updated. Hopefully that'll pop on. There it is right there. So this is lagging a little bit too, but you can clearly see this is the circulation right there. That's as it was crossing the state line. That now is making its way into Bakersfield. As far as like pinpointing roads, it looks like that tornado is right on top. It's not a big community. It looks like it is right on top of Bakersfield. I would guess that at this time, just trying to get some markers as to what's close in that area. Not really getting anything to pop out. Okay, it should be very close to West Main Street. Maybe the intersection there of Highway 101 and West Main Street, very close to where that tornado is currently. Water Tower Street runs north out of 101. Hayes Street intersects Water Tower Street. These are all roads in the vicinity of this tornado. Not getting any real big highlight markers, but it looks like this tornado is cutting right through town. And it will continue to track northeast away from Bakersfield here shortly. I'm going to go back over to this other radar view. Come on. There we go. So it's still, it now looks like the tornado is now northeast of Bakersfield.
Jamie, National Weather Service pushing this kind of confirmed tornado downrange in West Plains. You're now in this new tornado warning that has just been issued. The schools have been open as a shelter in West Plains. We gave you guys a warning about that 15 minutes ago. If you don't live close to the schools, don't try to go. You got to be close to the schools to try to go right now. You're kind of missing your opportunity. These storms are moving very, very fast, and this is a confirmed tornado at this time. West Plains, you are downrange from this. You need to be getting
south side of Springfield from Battlefield up toward the south side into the Galloway area. As far north as downtown Springfield. Take action now. Possible tornado with this thunderstorm tracking northeast at 50 miles per hour. These storms, again, moving very, very quickly. So when we're showing you radar, we're kind of looking a little bit back in time. So you don't have a lot of time to really take action with this. In fact, I'm going to have to, because it's going to cover so much ground, I'm going to have to broaden out the view just a little bit more. And it looks like it will be tracking roughly through this corridor. And here's some points that it'll be near downtown, probably a little southeast of downtown within the next 10 minutes. Should be there southeast of downtown Springfield shortly before 6:10 this evening, and then in the Stratford area in roughly 20 minutes from now. Again, this is a radar indicated tornado. It's the first one that we've gotten so far this evening, and I'll clear this out. Looking again at where that circulation is as we kind of zoom in a bit more, it looks to be located roughly south of James River, maybe to the east of Battlefield, based on the radar view that we've got on this particular computer. Looking at a different view, it looks like that circulation is now located very close to James River. I'll go ahead and actually zoom in. Looks like it would be located very close to James River, roughly in this area right here. Based on a different radar view that I have, it looks like that circulation would be located roughly about here, where that dip in James River is on the south side of Springfield, and the circulation is tracking across this corridor right there. So some areas that would be in the vicinity of this possible tornado. Again, at this stage, it's radar indicated. Republic Road near Broadway Avenue, over toward, say, the Campbell, South Campbell Avenue. Those would be locations roughly in the vicinity of where this possible tornado is with this particular thunderstorm. Again, it is radar indicated. In addition to the possibility of a tornado with this thunderstorm, we'll switch this back over to a different view. It looks like we're getting some really heavy rainfall here at the TV station. I can hear it outside right now. In addition to the possible tornado, we've also got, again, a risk of large hail with this thunderstorm. I'm trying to get this over to, let's see if I can just switch it over to this. Get this over to a radar view, and we'll broaden that out a little bit. Looks like, again, that circulation is now tracking, again, very quickly northeast at 50 miles per hour. Looks like it would be located pretty close to the Battlefield Mall and heading in the general direction of Stratford. So, again, with that movement of 50 miles per hour, that does not give you much time to take action. If you live anywhere from the south side of Springfield, I want you to continue to sort of hunker down and wait for this storm to get through your area. It is crossing the south side of Springfield right now and should be near Stratford in about 10 minutes time. And then from there, it would be up near the Fair Grove area by about 6:18 this evening. Everything, again, tracking not quite northeast. It's more of a north-northeast motion. We'll clear this activity off and we'll take that down. And this is a 1 hour radar loop that you're looking at. And you can see how quickly these storms are tracking toward the northeast. The tornado warned storm is this guy right there, moving across the south side of Springfield, again tracking from basically the Stone County area across Christian County and now into southern Greene County, and it will continue to track across the east side of Springfield over the next 5 minutes or so and in the general direction of Stratford. Based on its movement, looks like it'll be in the vicinity of Stratford in about 10 minutes time. Matt Hefner joining us right now. Matt, you've been, I'm sure, watching some of the chat on Slack. Is there anything that you can add in terms of what they're seeing?
Just put on my mic, so hopefully people can hear me right now. But right now I'm getting reports, 911 Springfield, Greene County saying rotation towards Springfield Lake headed towards James River Freeway. That's from 911 troopers on the ground at this moment. Hail's coming in. I can tell you outside, Jamie, it is pouring hard. Yeah. It is hailing over Springfield right now. The worst, this is what we were saying earlier, is the worst of these storms are what's going to be happening right now in Springfield. So once we get on the backside of this line, expecting things to really improve and to get better, but it's the matter of kind of getting through these thunderstorms and also this first tornado warning of the night, expecting more once this moves further off into the east as these storms move into a more favorable
I'll be honest,
environment.
Matt, this is, I mean, it's kind of tricky pinpointing exactly. It looks like that circulation, based on what I can see on radar, and I'll stop this. But what I can see on radar, it looks like that circulation, and it's a little diffuse. It's hard to pick up on what I can see. But it looks like it would be located on top of Highway 65. This would be maybe between Battlefield Road and Sunshine, roughly in that area near Highway 65. And again, tracking very quickly to the north-northeast. And it's generally moving in the trajectory of Stratford. And it looks like it would be in the Stratford area over the next 5 to 10 minutes. So far, again, this is a radar indicated tornado based on what we can see on radar. The circulation itself is not overly strong, at least based on what I can see. But I think the fast movement of these thunderstorms is probably masking to some extent exactly where that circulation is. I'm just kind of going back and looking at a different radar view. Again, it looks like it would be pretty close to 65 in Battlefield. I mean, if it's still there, it's going to be roughly in that vicinity, maybe as far north as Sunshine. and should be tracking east of 65 now. So it looks like the bulk of this tornado threat is going to stay, I think, just to the west, or just to the east, I should say, of most of Springfield, certainly the downtown area of Springfield. If you're watching from the battlefield area, I mean, when this tornado warning was first issued, that storm was located, or the tornado threat was located very close to battlefield. It looks like the tornado threat has ended in the battlefield area. It has ended for areas up to about James River, but it does continue, especially for areas along Highway 65, between Battlefield Road and Sunshine, and northeast up towards Stratford. That's the corridor that is going to be taking. So this is 65 right here. It looks like that circulation roughly about in here, and it should track in that fashion toward Stratford. In addition to a possible tornado with this storm, the warning indicated also maybe a risk of hail up to ping pong ball size. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our hail product here and see if we can track out some hail. Certainly looks to be a hail core. This is just to the south of Division, pretty close to the TV station here. South of Division, down toward Sunshine. That is where the hail core is, and that's pretty tightly tied to where the possible tornado is as well. Broadening out our view, it looks like we've got an even bigger hail core with this storm to the southwest of Nixa. That's going to be moving into the Highlandville area and should move in the vicinity of Nixa and Ozark very quickly over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Looks like we may have hail up to at least quarter size with that hail core that again is tracking toward Highlandville and Nixa and Ozark. Locally in our area, again, tornado-warned storm continues to move across the east side of Springfield, moving in the general direction.
The supercell breaking free from that line. It's not competing for resources. It has all the room, all the elbow room to grow that it wants, and it's in a very favorable environment for these tornadoes. It is a scary situation that we're hoping to avoid today. Every indication that we have right now, this is a strong tornado on the ground. We're seeing a tight velocity couplet. We're seeing a CC drop. We're seeing the reflectivity matching. It is going to continue if hopefully it weakens, but right now we cannot plan for that. You have to get into your shelter. If you're in South Fork, if you're in West Plains, get into an interior room, put as many kind of walls between you and this tornado as possible. Those walls, a lot of time, they act like armor. You want as much armor from the storm as possible. If you're in a trailer park, if you're in an RV, good time to try to get into a shelter, good time to try to find a neighbor, good time to try to find a different place to get out of that RV park and to get into a well-built home. This is looking like a very strong tornado, Jamie.
Yes, yeah, it does look like that. And that tornado right now, what I'm showing you on radar, this is the debris signature. So Hokomo right there, and then just off screen up here, that's South Fork. So I'll move the map view just so you can see that. That is roughly, in fact, so when you see debris, this is what's been lofted up into the air. It doesn't necessarily pinpoint exactly where the tornado is, but it gives you a pretty good idea. Looks like it's here on State Route FF. That debris signature located right on State Route FF, moving northeast like this towards South Fork. So it's going to be moving in from the southwest into the South Fork area, I would say over the next 5 minutes. Circulation still very apparent. And again, as we go back to our radar view here, it looks like, as I kind of broaden this back out, that higher reflectivity right there, I mean, you're seeing like this is the inflow into the supercell, and it's wrapping around, and this is where the tornado is occurring here, just to the southwest of South Fork. See it getting closer. I'm guessing that higher reflectivity is partly due to debris that has been lofted into the air. We still have a fairly strong circulation. It's weakened a touch, and I hope that that's the case. I hope that this has lifted, but we're still sensing debris with this thunderstorm. It appears that we still may have a tornado on the ground approaching South Fork from the southwest, getting very, very close to South Fork. It looks like that tornado is located southeast of Hokomo. Looks like it's approaching State Route E that runs north into South Fork, and it looks like it will be crossing through the South Fork, or maybe just south of South Fork, just based on what I'm seeing on radar here. Again, looking at a different radar view, it looks like that circulation. Here's South Fork. It looks like that circulation is coming in just like this. So we may keep the tornado just to the south of South Fork, but it's going to be awfully, awfully close. And I think that it is moving by South Fork right now. It's moving northeast at 45. I think it's moving just to the south of South Fork right now. Areas downstream from where this tornado is occurring, based on the trajectory, and I'll broaden this out, based on the trajectory, it looks like it's moving. That's not quite what I wanted here. We're going to take that off. Let me see here if I can find what I want. I'll do this. It looks like this tornado initially kind of came up through Bakersfield, and now it looks like maybe more of a bend to the right or to the east, passing maybe just south of South Park. And if that trajectory continues, it looks like it may head between West Plains and Brandsville, or may pass West Plains just to the south and southeast. We're going to watch those trends closely. Right now, that whole area, as I broaden this back out, and you can see how broad this tornado warning is. I mean, look how much real estate is covered by this tornado warning. This is a big storm. I mean, this is a supercell thunderstorm. So we're looking at rain and hail right here. This is the updraft right in here. And then this is what is probably the tornado right there. And I think we're sensing some debris in the atmosphere associated with that tornado. This is going to track roughly like this. I think it may stay just to the south and southeast of West Plains.
Debris, the National Weather Service just said they saw debris 20,000 feet, 18,000, so roughly 18,000 feet into the air that has been tossed with this tornado. That is a strong, powerful tornado that's tossing debris, tree limbs, 18,000 feet into the air.
Let's see here. I'm going to step off camera because, Matt, keep talking. I'm going to step off camera. I have a different product here.
Yeah. The main thing is that this is going to approach quickly into the West Plains area. This is a very strong tornado. It is confirmed at this time. We're seeing debris that's getting lofted about 18,000 feet into the air. You need to be getting into your shelter right now. This is a very serious situation. If you have family that's in this area, if you have friends that are in this area, please give them a call. We've been having people that have been losing power really all throughout the day. They may be in West Plains right now with power out, unaware of what's going to be coming their way. Hopefully the sirens are going off in West Plains right now, but this is a very strong situation that is developing. We need to take this threat very seriously. Thankfully, it's the only tornado warning that we have in our viewing area at this time. We can kind of broaden out the view. The tornadoes that were over in Raleigh, those have pushed out. The severe thunderstorms still occurring in Texas County, in Dent County, and Phelps County, those are passing through without tornado concerns at this time. That's a great thing to see. All eyes are over in West Plains. That's where things are starting to get fairly serious at this time. National Weather Service starting to kind of change around the polygons on that. Let me see the updates on that warning. That warning is going to expire in 31 minutes. It is coming with a considerable damage tag. This is a confirmed tornado with a considerable damage tag.
So, okay, and this is something I can't show on here, but I can tell folks right now. We have a product on one of our, some of our radar software that we're not showing on air, but we have a product that allows, it will estimate, it runs an algorithm and it estimates the tornado strength. And it is indicating the possibility that we could have a significant tornado that's occurred from Gamelia through Bakersfield, now approaching South Fork. Looks like it's possible that this could have been EF2 or EF3 in magnitude, just based on what the algorithm on the radar is saying. So I'm not saying that's what it was. What I'm saying is that radar is indicating that that is a possibility.
And to put that in perspective, that's a type of tornado that you can be in a well-built home and you're going to see damage done to that. That is a very powerful tornado into that area. If you're in the West Plains area, get into shelter right now. We're starting to see that kind of velocity couplet moving almost right now. It looks like it's on top of South Fork from what I'm seeing on a different radar view. If I had to guess, it looks like this is going to impact the southern portion of West Plains more than the northern. I think it's going to try to pass through the south side of the town. Maybe I can start pulling up some businesses that are going to be impacted into this area and I can start listing those out. But this is a very, very strong, violent tornado that's moving into the area.
Yeah, and just to highlight where the circulation is, so you can see that. I'm going to take that off. But you can see that ball right there. So this is the thunderstorm. This is the rotating updraft, and this is the tornado. And I think that reflectivity right there, that's a debris ball. I think you're getting higher reflectivities from debris that's being sensed by the radar. Now, the other way that we know that this is a tornadic thunderstorm is by seeing that CC drop, that debris signature. We've shown you that already this evening. And I'll show it to you again. Little messy right there, but maybe I can go back a frame. You can very easily see this is at 8:56 this evening, so we're running at 9:01, so about 5 minutes later. So here's South Fork. That is the debris signature right there. And that debris signature has since moved downstream and is located just to the southeast of South Fork. So here's South Fork. Looks like that debris signature still showing up, not as dramatic, but it's still showing up on radar, and that's approaching Highway 17. So that would be a pretty good marker of where the tornado is currently located.
And Jamie, what I want to say, you plotted this out earlier. You said, hey, I think about 9:10 it moves into West Plains. I think the system's moving faster than that. We may have less time than what we thought to get people into shelters. It is coming very quickly into the town.
Yeah, and I'm still keeping an eye on what's going on down in the south. Down near Leslie, southeast of Marshall, right there on 65, just to the east of Leslie, there's still a pretty strong circulation. That's a tornado-warned thunderstorm, and that's tracking northeast toward Horseshoe Bend and Cherokee Village. So we're going to keep tabs on that one. Further north, as I broaden out this view, further north you can see how the tornado threat that we had in Phelps County and Dent County has now moved downstream. Looks like we've got confirmed tornadoes now also approaching the St. Louis area, west of St. Louis. Locally in our area, though, it looks like the severe weather threat, as I broaden this out, you can see the severe weather threat is quickly coming to an end. So it's over with west of Highway 65. It's over with north of I-44. So Lebanon, Rolla, Springfield, Monette, Branson, Harrison, Jasper, Joplin, Stockton, Warsaw. These are all locations which we can say safely that the tornado threat is over with. The severe weather threat is over with in your communities. The tornado threat, though, continues for areas near and east of Highway 63, from Salem, Missouri, south through Eminence and West Plains and Alton, down into Mountain Home and Salem, Arkansas, Ash Flat, Melbourne. These are all communities that are still in a corridor ahead of this line that have a tornado risk. And that tornado threat that we've been watching very closely
to the town. It's getting real close to the town.
Tied to West Plains. Let's see, I'm going to go to a different radar view. That circulation appears to be, and I can't tell if there may still be some hints of a CC drop. We may have a tornado that's just roping out, weakening. It looks like that tornado is located now northeast of South Fork, roughly, let's see if I can get this, take some of this information off. So.
And this looks like it is going to impact the south portion of West Plains. If it does not lift up before then, hopefully it does. But definitely the southern portion of West Plains where I think the biggest, heaviest impact of this is going to be pushing through. That's where that velocity couplet is centered right now. That's where we're seeing the rotation. I believe it's going to be impacting the southern portion of the town.
Matt, it looks like that circulation is going to pass south of West Plains.
Yeah.
It appears to be, I'm going to guess that it's right about in here. It's just south of West Plains.
That's a little bit closer to Frankville. I think a little bit closer to Frankville than West Plains. But
yeah,
really in between those two towns, West Plains and Frankville, where I think we're going to see that kind of couplet pass through. If you're on the south portion of West Plains, everyone at West Plains needs to be taking shelter right now, but especially if you're on the south portion, get ready. This is where it's looking like it's going to cross over.
There's a little community there, Cottbus. I may be saying that wrong, but that's very close to where the tornado would be. It looks like that circulation is on Highway 17, maybe just east of Highway 17 now. It would be very close to County Road 9000 and where that intersects Highway 17. Looking at some other areas, there's not a lot of roads further down, downstream from where that tornado is until you get closer to Frankville, as you mentioned. It looks like, and Frankville, I drive that area quite a bit. That stretch running out of West Plains south down 63 toward Brandsville, it's pretty rural. But it does look like that circulation will kind of make its way up toward that intersection of PP Highway and Highway 63, which is just southeast of Frankville. So just to give folks kind of a reference, and we'll clear this data off just so that it's not confusing, but it looks like based on what I can see, that tornado is probably going to cross. You can see Chapin right there. This is roughly the area that it looks like that tornado would cross Highway 63, pretty close to Chapin or Frankville. Just kind of depends on what mapping system you're looking at, what pops up. But it looks at this point like the circulation, again, is very close to Highway 17. I would guess that it's moved a little downstream from that location, approaching PP Highway. It looks like it may move across Highway 63 very close
Got a new scan.
to 63 and PP Highway.
New scan. I think it is going to go south of West Plains, kind of closer to, but West Plains is
and
definitely
are you talking
getting
about
that.
the CC drop?
I'm not looking at the CC
Okay.
drop. I'm just looking at the velocity couplet. But
The velocity couplet is definitely strengthened. It's intensified. It's tightened back up.
I think it's going to hit that kind of just south of the town. It is close, and I think it's going to just barely miss West Plains. Hopefully, it does.
Yeah.
This is scary.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get. Boy, I tell you what, there's so many things going on. These computers don't like it. I'm going to go ahead and just knock that down. But it looks like that tornado is very close to County Road 8,490, and where it intersects with County Road 8,530. This is southwest of Frankville. Looks like, again, that it's going to kind of cross near 63 and PP Highway, where those highways intersect, is where this tornado, and I think it's probably still producing. I think we've still got a tornado
I haven't
on the
seen
ground.
any indication
Yeah.
this is lifted. I haven't seen
Yeah.
velocity still there, CC drop's still there, reflectivity's making sense. I haven't seen any indication that this tornado has lifted.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get real tight in. So this is okay. So I mean, this is roughly where it looks like the tornado is. Again, this is west of 63 Highway. You can see County Road 8,590, County Road 8,640, County Road 8,660. These are all rural roads, very close to Highway 63. That's about where the tornado is. I don't think that it's made it to Highway 63 just yet. We just got a new radar scan in, kind of messy, but it looks like it is getting closer and closer to that Frankville area that we were talking about.
Yeah, patiently waiting for a new scan, at least from my source. Haven't gotten one in about a minute. Very anxious seeing how that's going to update right there. Something I do want to mention, if you do have family in St. Louis, I know we have a lot of people that have family in St. Louis. There is also a confirmed tornado that is occurring just to the west of St. Louis, kind of around the Wildwood area. If you have family in that area, give them a call as well. This is just one of multiple tornadoes that are happening across Missouri at this time.
Yeah, and it's been a busy day. We're getting close to being done here in our area. That's some good news, but we're not out of the woods. Again, if you're watching from West Plains, I think the tornado is going to pass just to the south and southeast of West Plains. Looks like it stayed just south of South Fork as well. It looks like it will maybe move across Highway 63 very close to Frankville. Somewhere between that intersection of 63 and PP and the southeast side of West Plains. It's in that vicinity. Looks like there's an airport in that area. Let's see if I can kind of zoom in, get some stuff to pop up. I mean, there are definitely some homes in the vicinity of this tornado. Greenwood School is a marker that's very close to where this tornado is occurring. Looks like the tornado is going to pass just to the south of West Plains Soccer Association, south of Kelly Park. But areas from Greenwood School east over toward Frankville, Looks like this is generally where that tornado is moving through right now. And I think it's still on the ground. It may be weaker, but I think it's still on the ground. Looks like it may pass pretty close to Howell Valley Airport. Hopefully it stays a little south, but it's going to be a close call in that area. Looking at radar, I mean, we've still got, and you know, Matt, what may be happening here is we may have new development down toward the Brandsville area. There's two areas of circulation. One is the one that we've been tracking that is now southeast of West Plains. Looks like it has crossed 63. There is another area of rotation, though, that is showing up just north of Brandsville, and that will track northeast. So sometimes what happens is, you know, you'll have your initial tornado, and as that circulation sort of wraps into the circulation of the thunderstorm, as the forward flank downdraft, the rear flank downdraft, as that's occluding, that tornado can kind of wrap. Eventually, it kind of maybe takes a turn, maybe more toward the northwest, and then it lifts, and you get a new tornado that develops down where that occlusion and between those two fronts are occurring with the supercell. You get a new tornado that develops, and that may be happening right now just north of Brandsville.
Jamie, I got to jump in here. I got reports. This is one I don't want to say, but I think it's important that we tell people what is going on. Howell County, there has been a house that has been hit. Emergency management in Howell County is reporting injuries have occurred at that house in Howell County. They're also saying a lot of power lines down, buildings being destroyed into this area.
What area is it?
They're giving me the county road. I can start to dig it into a little more. County Road 7,390. I can pinpoint that. I don't know exactly where that is in that moment. Let me put it into Google Maps. But they're mentioning house hit, and they're also saying injuries have occurred in Howell County.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's been our fear. We saw this tornado, very powerful, very violent one. I'm going to plot that out and try to pinpoint the area where we're hearing damage reports. That's County Road 7,390. In Howell County. Not good, not at all, because we knew that this was going to be a very powerful tornado. We were trying to warn people about it. I am not seeing any indication that this has lifted. I'm not seeing any indication that this threat is out of the way. It's going to continue to really barrel down and move further off to the northeast. The National Weather Service has not extended this warning yet. I almost expect them to, especially if the nature of the storm continues to develop. That means people in Shannon County, you guys are going to be up next. Kind of the next major town in that area would be Eminence, way downstream, but also this is going to go across Highway 60. And there's probably a lot of people driving. It's the weekend, it's a Friday. They don't know what's going to be coming, and that's another way that this can really create some terrible impacts from what we've already been seeing.
And Matt, we talked about this earlier. So on different radar software that we have in-house, it runs an algorithm and it kind of gives you an idea if there's a tornado occurring, the magnitude, the intensity of that tornado. And you can also see kind of how it tracks. I think based on what I'm seeing here, there could have been a tornado associated with this storm that's now in Howell County. There could have been a tornado associated with that storm near Mountain Home, northeast through Gamaliel, then into Bakersfield, into southwestern Howell County.
There's a chaser on this storm. They reported, hey, it was on the ground southeast of West Plains. So I haven't heard anything about damages in that area. Hopefully we don't hear anything. Hopefully there was no damages in that area, but this is a strong, powerful tornado.
Right, and I'm concerned, based on what we see on radar here, I'm concerned that this, when they go out and they do the survey work, this could have been an EF2, EF3 tornado, a significant tornado.
Those are... oh man, I got another report from Howell County, same emergency manager saying fire department reporting a house hit with a fuel tank leaking on JJ Highway in Howell County. This is, these damage reports are starting to come in now that the thunderstorm has pushed out and people are starting to come out as well. I see the National Weather Service are going to issue a new tornado warning for Howell County. I believe they're just going to extend.
Downstream.
They're pushing that downstream. That's what we're expecting. So they're kind of updating the polygon on that as well, as this has not weakened.
This tornadic thunderstorm is now kind of exiting Howell County, getting into northwestern Oregon County. Our radar site's kind of hitting it pretty high up, about 7,000 feet, but there's still a strong circulation showing up. Looking at how to me, you mentioned a spotted report of a tornado southeast of West Plains. I think what has happened is there may very well still be a tornado, weak one, small one on the ground east of West Plains. That would be near, that circulation is near Highway 160 running east away from West Plains. But the stronger circulation has taken shape over toward Rover. So I think what we've seen is we're seeing an evolution as this supercell. I mean, these things can last a long time, but they evolve through that time. They're not just steady state. I mean, they're evolving. And I think what we're seeing is we're seeing a circulation in two different areas. We're seeing one about here. That's the weaker one. That's the one that has been tornadic. And it looks like we may have a new circulation, which is near Rover right now. That could be the new circulation that may, in time, become tornadic. So there are a couple different spots that we're watching. Again, one to the east of the intersection of Highway 17 and 160, roughly in that area. You can see that little crook in the highway right in there. It looks like that's where that possible tornado is at this time. That was the one that we've been tracking. It looks like we've got a new circulation though, which is taking shape and has intensified some. And it is centered, it's kind of broad still, but it's centered over Rover to the south of Highway 160, and it is tracking northeast as well. There's also another storm.
We got some storms that are firing
East
up
of
on
Bakersfield, yeah.
On this outflow boundary. Those are subsevere right now, but if you kind of zoom out further to the west, over in Kabul, you guys are about to get another round of thunderstorms that are going to move in east of Ava. This is off that outflow boundary of these other storms, sparking up some more thunderstorms behind it. I don't think these are going to become tornadic. It's just something else to mention at this time, that these are just now developing.
Here, and you kind of get lost in this. I think there's a new tornadic thunderstorm, or at least it's tornado warned. It's the one down near Moody. We have a new tornado warning that got issued at 9:14 until 9:45. So we have now another potential tornado that we're watching with a storm further southwest. So here's West Plains. It's this storm. So we've got a new storm that we're watching that is tornado warned. The circulation, I can tell you, is not near as strong as what we saw with the storm that was just ahead of it.
But Jamie, speaking of that storm back ahead of it, I'm sorry to make you go yo-yo back and forth.
Really
we're getting a report of a fire departments in Rover are reporting tornado on the ground in Rover, and that's the one that was in West Plains. Now it's a little bit further to the east.
Actually, Matt, this is the new circulation.
Yeah.
This is the new circulation that's taking over that has now intensified.
Jeez.
If you look at, let's see if I
can... Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah, the one over West Plains started weakened. This is one just a little bit more to the southeast. That one's kind of getting all the fuel into this thunderstorm and really starting to power up.
Let's see if I can get this thing to show what we're seeing, I tell you.
It's over in Rover. We're getting reports tornado on the ground near Rover, southwest of Rover.
Yep. So that is a confirmed tornado on the ground. You said it was southwest of Rover?
Southwest of Rover is when I got the report.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
that's been a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, it looks like that circulation is now on the northeast side of Rover.
Yep.
And it is quickly approaching Highway 160. I mean, that is, if you've ever traveled through Oregon County, Highway 160, I mean, that is out in the country. But if you're traveling that'd be a very dangerous spot to be on the highway right now. We've got now a new tornadic circulation. This is with that monster supercell that looks now like it's been responsible for at least one significant tornado coming out of Arkansas through the Gamelia area into Bakersfield. That circulation has since weakened and dissipated. New circulation has developed a bit further east. That was over Rover, getting a spotted report of a tornado on the ground southwest of Rover, and now that circulation is quickly making its way up toward Highway 160, generally moving in the direction of Thomasville.
This tornado warning getting extended downrange. This is a observed tornado. People in Oregon County, Shannon County, you're probably hearing tornado sirens going off. Welcome. Let me tell you what's been happening. A confirmed tornado has moved into Howell County. I've heard reports of homes that have been hit. I've heard reports of injury. This is the system that is moving closer into your range. This is over into Oregon. Right now, it's going to eventually move into Oregon County, northern Oregon County, southern Shannon County. That is what we're watching out for. This has been a beast of a system, and right now it is not showing any signs of letting up.
Yeah. So it looks like the tornado threat is now northeast of Rover with that. I think this storm is moving northeast at 50. I'm going to track that out because it looks like it's going to head right through Thomasville, moving roughly in this fashion. And that would bring it in. I mean, it's going to be in Thomasville under 10 minutes from now. So if you're watching from around Highway 160 near Thomasville, get into your tornado safe space right now. Looks like we've got a destructive tornado on the ground. Looks like it developed maybe to the southwest of Rover. It's now since moved through Rover and northeast of Rover, and it should be in the Thomasville area within the next 10 minutes. I would guess that it's going to be there between 9:25 and 9:30 this evening. So that's in northern Oregon County. Now it looks like this tornadic thunderstorm is going to pass just to the north of Alton. So the tornado threat is going to stay to the north of Alton with this particular thunderstorm, and it will continue to track northeast. And my guess is that it will make it into Shannon County. We may have a tornado on the ground or a development of maybe multiple tornadoes over the course of its path as it makes its way out of Oregon County and into Shannon County. So I think there will be a tornado threat moving into Shannon County that would continue to approach Highway 60 and should be up near Highway 60 in Shannon County by, it looks like maybe within about 25 minutes. Again, this storm moving pretty quick out of the northeast, or moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Looks like we may have a CC drop and a debris signature now on radar. That debris signature appears to be located over Thomasville. So I think we probably have a tornado on the ground very close to Thomasville, moving across Highway 160. Again, that's that route that works through Oregon County west to east, runs into Alton. Looks like that tornado is situated on the highway there near Thomasville, moving northeast at 50, and it looks like we now have a debris signature on radar. There was a spotter report of a tornado moving into the Rover community. That was maybe 10 minutes ago with this very same circulation. That circulation will continue to track northeast. Looks like it will make its way into southern Shannon County in about 15 minutes and should approach communities like Winona in about 25 minutes or so. So dangerous thunderstorm, likely producing a tornado right now near Thomasville, and that tornado expected, or at least risk of a tornado expected to extend into southeastern Shannon County, approaching Highway 60 and communities like Winona in about 25 minutes from now. That tornado currently is moving through Thomasville, and all indications is that we still have a tornado and it is on the ground. That's not the only tornado warned storm, not the only circulation that we're watching. We've got another storm kind of hot on its heels. The circulation with this one is not nearly as strong. It is located near Highway 142, just north of Highway 142 between Moody and Lanton. That possible tornado moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. That would, based on that movement, let's see here, that would hopefully have enough room. I don't know, I'm going to have to broaden out that view a little bit. Again, these are fast-moving thunderstorms, and then I have to broaden out the view as a result because it covers a lot of real estate in the time that I'm able to show. So that tornadic thunderstorm, again, radar indicated, located between Moody and Lanton, should make its way, looks like across Highway 63, maybe pretty close to where a tornadic circulation moved through not that long ago. This may be closer to the Brandsville area, and that would be at about 9:39 this evening, so roughly about 14 minutes or so from now. So we've got two different circulations that we're tracking in our area at this time. One is in Oregon County near Thomasville, likely a tornado on the ground. Looks like we've got a debris signature with that one. And we have a radar indicated tornado, circulation apparent on radar. That is near between Moody and Lanton. That circulation now appears to be to the northwest of Lanton. There is also a storm further south. This one continues to bear watching. It's moving into Izard County, and it has got, oh boy, it has got a really nasty looking CC drop associated with it. That is near Mount Olive. Looks like we have likely a tornado on the ground just to the west of Mount Olive. This is down in Arkansas. This is in Stone County, south of Calico Rock. This is a tornado warned storm, but I think that this is producing a tornado, I think, right now, just to the west of Mount Olive. That storm is tracking northeast at about, let's see what we got here, east at 60 miles per hour, a little north of east at 60 miles per hour. So, yep, looks like that one is now a confirmed tornado. They went with the pink shade, the pink outline on that tornado warning. So that is a confirmed tornado. Again, that is located very close to Mount Olive, southwest of Boswell, and it is tracking a little north of east at 60 miles per hour. So that will bring it into western Sharp County. So if you're watching right now down near the Horseshoe Bend area, tornadic thunderstorm will make its way across Izard County, out of Stone County, moving out of Stone County right now, moving into Izard County, then across Izard County and into Sharp County. So if you are watching downstream from that tornadic thunderstorm, again, it is producing a tornado right now. Areas like Horseshoe Bend, it looks like that tornadic thunderstorm would be in your vicinity in about 25 to 30 minutes. You're not under a tornado warning right now. It's just giving you a heads up because these are fast-moving thunderstorms, giving you a heads up, some lead time hopefully, because you may be under a tornado warning shortly. At this stage, we've still got two tornado warned storms. The most impressive of the two, looks like that circulation near Lanton, north of Lanton, may be trying to tighten up a little bit. I'm not seeing anything that says that there's something on the ground there, but it does look like maybe it's tightening up. The Thomasville tornado, I think we've still got a tornado on the ground near Thomasville. There's still a debris signature, small one, but a debris signature just east of Thomasville.
I'm seeing a slight CC drop really with all three. The one that's kind of in the middle, we have three circulations we're tracking. That one is probably the weakest out of all of them, but there is definitely indications that these are strong tornadoes that is impacting this region. Jamie, our production team has asked if you could change your mic batteries because we've been going live since, I don't know, 6 o'clock. So we've been doing this for over 3.5 hours. As Jamie kind of changed out his batteries because we don't want his mic to cut out on air, I want to give a report of just a lot of the damages that I've been hearing, and most of them have been in Howell County. I've heard of, I think at this point, 5 different instances of structural damage, of home damage into Howell County. I just also got a report of about 2,400 people without power in Howell County. This system has moved through. It is a very powerful system, and we still have really 3 circulations that we're tracking. The first one is moved out of Howell County. That's moving into Oregon County right now. The second one that we're seeing is just to the east of Moody. Let me zoom in on the graphic over closer to Lanton. That's where this second one is trying to organize. I think it's the weakest out of the 3, but it's definitely building.
I think in the last scan that I'm looking at here, north of Lanton, where that circulation is, I think you're right. I think it continues to tighten up. I mean, we're getting outbound velocities.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get. Looks like outbound velocities that may be approaching 70 miles per hour. Next to inbound velocities of around, maybe 40. I mean, that's pretty significant gate-to-gate shear. So I mean, I think we are looking at a tightening circulation, and that circulation right now, it's north of Lanton, and keep in mind this is in southeastern Howell County. So this is well south of West Plains, but it's still in Howell County. That circulation is located over County Road 9,580. Another county road just to the east, County Road 9,230. That's pretty close to where we could have a developing tornado. Where we have confirmed tornadoes, one is near Thomasville. Looks like that is now northeast of Thomasville. Bless you. That is, looks like You know, and that is a very rural part of Oregon County, so I'm not really getting a whole lot of road data, but there are some smaller roads in that vicinity. That circulation is to the east-northeast of Thomasville. And I apologize. We got different computers with different radar sources, and we have what we have on air, so we're kind of going back and forth. But this is about where that circulation, and that thing's tight. It looks like it's trying to tighten back up again. Looks like it's right about there. See that higher reflectivity just to the east of Thomasville? That's correlates pretty well with there still looks like a weak CC drop in that vicinity. So I think we probably still have a tornado on the ground. That is just to the east of Thomasville, and that is tracking northeast. Looks like it may be kind of heading in the general direction of just kind of looking at this. We may manage to keep that south of Winona, but looks like it may move pretty close to New Liberty. Looks like it's heading in that general direction. And it looks like we've got a new tornado warning. I mean, storm's still well off to the southwest. New tornado warning for the Van Buren area. That's for that cell right there that has been producing a tornado. It's as Matt and I were talking earlier, I think that the circulation that we're tracking now is not the same one that generated what was likely a tornado maybe as far west as Mountain Home.
No, I think it's the same kind of supercell, but a different
it's the same
rotation
supercell
within it.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, what'll happen is you'll have the primary circulation, and over time it may get replaced by another circulation a little bit further east or southeast, and then that becomes the primary circulation. I think that's what we saw with this particular setup. Same supercell, but this is a different circulation that developed, really ramped up near Rover. I think that's when the tornado touched down, maybe just southwest of Rover, and I think we may still have a tornado on the ground. In fact, that velocity couplet has really perked up again east of Thomasville. Still looks like we've got at least a weak CC drop, but the velocity couplet is really kind of perked back up. Still looks like a pretty good velocity couplet here to the southeast of West Plains, south of Brandsville. Just getting a new scan in. Looks like that circulation is almost due west of Koshkonong and a little south-southwest of Brandsville. Looks like it's going to continue northeast. Looks like it may go between the Brandsville and Koshkonong communities. So I've got a mother-in-law that actually lives very close to Koshkonong, just north of Koshkonong. They're on southeast of Brandsville. So if she's watching right now, you need to be in your tornado safe space. If you live anywhere between Brandsville and Koshkonong, or around Brandsville or around Koshkonong, please be in your tornado safe space. Looks like we may have a tornado touching down and moving through that area. At the very least, some very strong winds and hail with that storm. We have had a confirmed tornado further northeast up toward Thomasville, and I'm sorry I was talking about this Brandsville-Koshkonong storm, but up in Thomasville, still looks like we've got maybe a tornado on the ground there east of Thomasville, tracking east-northeast. It doesn't look like it does not look to be moving like directly northeast now. It looks like maybe more of an east-northeast movement, maybe more of a right-moving supercell. That often happens as these supercells get going, they take off, they mature, they then start to interact with the atmospheric winds, and because of that storm interaction, they start to deviate away from the path that they were on. They start to deviate to the right a lot of times in that scenario, and looks like maybe that's happening with that Thomasville tornadic thunderstorm. Looks like it's maybe more of a right mover, and we're seeing that tornado tracking maybe more east than northeast.
If I can, let's go over to Max 2 and really take kind of a step back and look at the broader view of things as we have a new tornado warning that's just been issued in northern Arkansas. This one's going to include Ash Flat. The National Weather Service in Springfield has been changing the polygons to kind of adjust that, but this is just something that you don't see with weather too often. We have thunderstorms all the way from southern Arkansas. Follow this up, confirmed tornadoes in northern Arkansas, confirmed tornadoes in southern Missouri, tornado warnings across the St. Louis area, and then we're still not done. You can follow it all the way up the spine to Illinois, over in Davenport with severe thunderstorm warnings. This is a beast of a system that is bringing severe weather across all the Midwest.
And it's the wind energy. I mean, that's what's, folks are like, well, why tonight? It's the wind energy associated with that storm system. We've got a fairly significant CC drop debris signature showing up still with that storm that's now into Izard County. It's located west of Melbourne. The tornado is located west of Melbourne. And it looks like that tornado will pass to the north of Melbourne, but may get pretty close to Newburgh. It looks like it may split Newburgh and Melbourne, crossing Highway 9. Again, that still looks like a significant debris signature on radar with that one. That is a confirmed tornado, and that is what's going to be tracking across Izard County. Looks like it's going to maybe track kind of parallel, but track south of Highway 56 and make its way into western Sharp County. I mean, I think areas from Ash Flat down to Evening Shade, especially closer to Ash Flat, really need to keep an eye. You're under a tornado warning, but I mean, take this seriously. I mean, it seems like it's a long way away, but this one could stay on the ground or at least produce another tornado as it's moving through your area. So please take that tornado warning seriously. Looks like we've got a tornado on the ground right now west of Melbourne, and that will track between Newburgh and Melbourne here shortly. And then from there, it looks like it will continue to head northeast or east-northeast, splitting Ash Flat and Evening Shade.
That's got a good CC drop on that.
And
that is a strong debris ball we are seeing in northern Arkansas.
Well, and also, I mean, you can see how it's still kind of out there on its own. I mean, there are other storms that are firing up down toward the Little Rock area, but it's still kind of out there on its own. Still concerned about this storm. You got two of them, one in northern Oregon County, and then you've got the other one that is in southeastern Howell County. Both of these tornado warned. It's still a radar indicated tornado with the storm that's roughly over Brandsville and Koshkonong. Looks like that tornado threat is moving through areas near and north of Koshkonong right now. So I would guess it is just, I mean, I bet the winds are howling. Could be a tornado crossing Highway 63 right now between Brandsville and Koshkonong. That storm will continue to track northeast. The more impressive storm, though, of those two is the one that's located in northern Oregon County. Still looks like we've got a debris signature on radar, so I think we still have a tornado on the ground here east of Thomasville. It's northeast of Thomasville and northwest of Greer. That is roughly, what I can tell on radar, it looks to be roughly right about in here. This is where the tornado is occurring, right here. And I think we still have a tornado on the ground just to the northwest of Greer. Looks like it'll pass Greer to the north and then move across Highway 19 over the next few minutes. And then from there, it may sneak into southeastern Shannon County. I mean, the trajectory of this storm looks a little bit more easterly, so it may manage to stay just south of Shannon County, but it'll be close. At the very least, it looks like areas from north of Greer over toward Wilderness and north up to at least the county line. There's going to be that tornadic risk with this storm as it tracks across those areas. Still seeing, again, a debris signature with that one. Looking further south, again, that storm near Melbourne, boy, that one, you know, what we were seeing in areas like Mountain Home up toward Gamaliel with that storm, that's what we're finding right now with this storm near Melbourne. I mean, just a very, very severe thunderstorm, likely producing a tornado right now. This is what we see on radar. That is the debris signature. So here's Newburgh, here's Melbourne. That is a debris signature right there being picked up by radar. Let's go ahead and throw the velocity data on there because you're going to see how that, and it's a little messy, but you can see the circulation that's right there as well. And it is located in fact, I'm going to go to the Springfield radar. That's a little messy right there. Let me see if I can find it. This is using the Springfield radar, and we'll use storm relative velocity, see what that looks like. But it is showing up very, very nicely on radar. That circulation, it's still kind of messy, but Looks like that circulation, this is it right here. This guy right there, that's what's also generating that debris signature. It looks like we've still got a tornado on the ground just to the south of Newburgh. That will be crossing Highway, looks like Highway 9, running south down toward Melbourne. That should be crossing Highway 9 over the next few minutes. So again, we're still tracking several different tornadic thunderstorms on radar right now. We've got one, and it's getting real messy because we're getting kind of far flung away from our radar sites. So it wants to bounce around from different radar sites as we kind of change our views. But what we're seeing is still a very strong tornadic circulation on radar here, just to the south of Shannon County. Looks like that is just to the west of Highway 19. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm looking at what I think I'm looking at. Looks like that circulation, so you see that little bend right there in Highway 19. Looks like the circulation, this is where I think the tornado is right now, just to the west of Highway 19. And it's tracking, it looks like it may sneak into southeastern Shannon County, but it does look like, it really does look like it's going to stay south of Highway 60, at least in Shannon County. It should stay south of Birch Tree and Winona. Good news for those communities, but the tornado threat real with that storm. Tornado still likely on the ground east of Thomasville, north of Greer, approaching Highway 19, and yeah, I mean it continues to track off to the east. Matt, I know that you've been watching like a lot of the reports coming in.
Yeah.
Anything new?
Nothing new at this time. Mostly a lot of reports of people without power. It's just coming down to getting this line of thunderstorms out of our area, moving it off to the east. I just want to make sure that this is very clear. Springfield, you're safe for the night. Branson, you're safe for the night. Everyone that's really west of Highway 63, let me draw in an arrow so I can kind of really make sure it's clear for everyone. If you're kind of to the left of this line, you're safe for the night. It's getting places that are to the east of it, getting this kind of last little bit of thunderstorms, pushing that through. That's what we have to do until everyone can rest easy for tonight. We have multiple confirmed tornadoes at this moment as they're really into that favorable environment for places in south central Missouri, north central Arkansas. Almost done, you know, but it's like this last little bit is very intense as we're seeing multiple circulations with some debris balls at this moment. That means that there's tornadoes on the ground that are slinging debris so far into the atmosphere that our radar site in Springfield can pinpoint it and detect it. That's what's happening with these systems. Very concerned about tornadoes in this area, Jamie.
Yeah, and going back to that Thomasville storm, I can tell you that it looks like that circulation is now located right about in here. It looks a lot weaker. I think we've seen, and we've seen this trend over the last few scans, but I think, again, this is where the circulation is showing up now on a different radar source, but right here near Highway 19, and I think that it is weakening. I don't see the debris signature any longer in that location. Now, again, this could be cyclical. I mean, it could be one of those where it fades and then we see a new circulation develop, or we see this one re-intensify. But it looks like for now, I think we've seen that tornado lift. I think it is, the circulation itself is weakened some, but it is still showing up on radar, and it is making its way across northernmost Oregon County. Looks like it may kind of hug the county line between Shannon County and Oregon County. Outside of that, also still tracking the circulation. Boy, that looks messy, but there's still a circulation showing up near Koshkonong. So we've got that. Looks like that circulation is now northeast of Koshkonong. So I think the tornado threat has subsided along Highway 63 between Bransville and Koshkonong. But there's still a circulation there. And at this point, I think the most concerning area is what we're finding down to the south. Of course, we're waiting for a new scan to come in. There it goes. You can see very clearly that circulation down in Izard County. I mean, that's here just to the east of Newburgh. I mean, between, it looks like Newburgh and Violet Hill, just southwest of Violet Hill, we've still got fairly strong circulation. Still looks like we've got a debris signature on radar. And so I think we've still got a tornado on the ground now east of Newburgh. So, one thing that we have seen with these thunderstorms is tonight, late this afternoon, now tonight, is that once they get going, they're producing probably a family of tornadoes, and maybe in maybe a case or two, maybe one longer track tornado. We talked about that earlier this evening, the significant tornado parameter, and how it's basically it's a value that we can look at to assess the risk of significant tornadoes. And as that line moved closer to Highway 63 and east of Highway 63, that parameter really jumped up, meaning it was a more favorable environment for supercells to produce significant tornadoes. And that's exactly what we have found this evening. We have not talked for a while about what happened earlier this evening from at least Wright County across southeastern Laclede County, Pulaski into Phelps County, but we've had reports of damage in those areas. Looks like 1, 2, maybe 3 tornadoes out of that particular thunderstorm. We've also had a significant event, I think, unfold from Mountain Home through Gamelia up towards South Fork. Probably a significant tornado, possibly a family of tornadoes. Looks like maybe we had another tornado touchdown near Rover in Oregon County. And that's just what we can see on radar and what we've seen through reports coming in. It's possible that there have been other tornado touchdowns that we've kind of lost in the mix, given the magnitude of what's happened this evening. The storm that is down in Izard County, I can tell you, and it looks like things are winding down locally for our area. We still have the tornado risk in northernmost Oregon County, southeastern Shannon. That appears it will stay to the south of Winona. Good news. Looks like it's kind of tracking in the general direction of Van Buren. Looks like it's getting set it's right now, it looks like it's located right on top of the county line, Shannon County, Oregon County, just east of Highway 19, but it should move east pretty quickly into Carter County. That's the expectation with that storm. Further south, we've still got this tornadic thunderstorm located, and that's the one that's near Brandsville and Koshkonong. Again, it looks like that circulation has weakened some and is now making its way into Oregon County. I'll just confirm that looking at a different radar view. That's what I'm seeing. And actually what I'm seeing 2 different circulations. One is to the southwest of Koshkonong, another is to the northeast of Koshkonong. But these circulations aren't near as intense as other storms that we've been tracking. So that leads me to that southernmost storm in our area, and that's down toward Izard County. That circulation that we find, it's now located northeast of Melbourne. It is just to the south of Highway 56, just to the southwest of Franklin, and still getting what appears to be a fairly significant debris signature with that tornado. So I think we've still got a tornado on the ground. I think it's still doing damage, and it looks like this could have been a significant tornado impacting areas from at least Mountain Olive, maybe further west, east now to south of Newburgh, and it still looks like we may have a tornado on the ground southwest of Franklin. So this one has been on the ground for a while, and it is still located in Izard County. It looks like it will probably hold together and make its way into Sharp County. So if you're watching from Ash Flat, this tornado is moving quickly. It is moving. Let's see if I can get this updated. Oh boy, come on. Tornado warning is still in effect through, it's just giving me watch information.
You're with the one in
55,
Ash Flat.
northeast of 55.
And this one has been consistently putting out a debris ball in that area. It has been consistently having strong rotations. It has been consistently pumping that out. Some of these, a lot of times you'll see kind of surges where you get a surge in activity, then it'll decrease. Not with this. This has been a powerful supercell that has been consistent, and it's getting closer to that Ash Flat area.
Well, and what's interesting too is, I mean, we're sensing debris with this tornado over 8,000 feet off the surface. I mean, that's where we're seeing that debris signature.
That's high up.
Over 8,000 feet. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and let's take this thing higher up. Just looking at the different tilt levels, I kind of lose it at 1.8, but at 1.3, I mean, that is 20,000 feet. I think it's sensing debris. The Springfield Weather Service radar is sensing debris with that tornado at 20,000 feet. So debris is being lofted into the atmosphere. You know, we're looking at about 4 miles off the surface. That's pretty amazing. I'm going to take that back down, but looks like that storm is still, I think, producing a tornado. I did go ahead and kind of put down some ETAs based on where the circulation is currently, and that is located a little southwest of Franklin. Looks like it's going to be a close call, but I think areas here along Highway 167 north of Evening Shade, very close to Highway 167 in about, I would say 12 minutes, 11 to 12 minutes, and in the Ash Flat area, probably in about 15 minutes. So that's not a lot of time. Of course, you've been under a warning, but you don't have a lot more time to take action. I mean, this, based on what we can see on radar, I mean, this may be a very large tornado, and it may be a very intense tornado, and those sometimes take a while to diminish, to fade away. So we could see this tornadic thunderstorm very well move into Sharp County and could impact places like Ash Flat. So we're gonna watch that and see how that transpires. But at this stage of the game,
Yeah, Jamie, I got a spotter report talking about that kind of Melbourne tornado, the one that's getting close to Ash Flat. They said a very large tornado. It was only visible when they had a lightning strike. So this is what's scary. Nighttime tornadoes produce they're twice as deadly as daytime tornadoes because you just can't see them coming. And you also have people that sleep through this process. Storm spotter in the area could only see the tornado once they had a flash of lightning, and they said a very large visible tornado that they could only see when that lightning was striking.
The other thing too about that area, man, I mean, that's pretty rugged terrain. Of course, where these tornadoes have been occurring, in many of these spots, I mean, it's pretty rugged terrain, very forested, very hard to see. And these are fast-moving tornadoes. So there are a lot of things that are making this a dangerous, maybe even more so than normal scenario. We've got several thunderstorms which have produced probably significant tornadoes that have moved very quickly. And in the case of this one down in Izard County, you know, it's very possible that thing could be a very, very large tornado as well. Looks like we've got a new confirmed tornado, Matt.
This one expires 10/15. But yeah, this is that circulation we've been talking about for the longest time. That's it has just been in this area.
It's the one that looks like it passed just to the north of Koshkonong, southeast of Brandsville. Crossing Highway 63. That circulation now is to the west of Alton, and I want to see what we're doing. This is a radar confirmed tornado. So what they're sensing is that they're sensing a debris signature, and there is I can see evidence of a debris signature. It looks like just to the west of Alton. This is, golly, let's see if I can get some roads. County Road 304, County Road 305, that is west of Alton. That is very close to where this tornado is occurring. And again, it looks like this is now a confirmed tornado with this thunderstorm. We have a debris signature on radar, and let's go ahead and get some information on there. So what I can see, again, different source, but what I can see is that tornado is located roughly here. And that, again, just west of Alton, not by much. Looks like it's about 4 miles, 5 miles to the west of Alton. I do think it will track just to the north and northwest of Alton. But if you're watching from Greer especially, watch this guy. Looks like it will track toward Greer and move very close to Greer. This is, I don't know what the forward speed on this guy is, but okay, 50 miles per hour northeast. So based on that, looks like, I'm going to broaden out this view too. Based on that, looks like we're looking at this thing moving across Greer or close to.
These are some fast-moving storms. People do not have a lot of time to get into shelter. It's just been the nature of them tonight with how much wind energy we have.
Yeah, so if you're watching from around Greer, north of Alton, northwest of Alton, tornado appears to be on the ground with this storm, and it should be in the vicinity of Greer by a little, probably shortly after 10 o'clock this evening. It will be passing, I think, to the north of Alton in about 5 minutes. That circulation is not too far to the west of Alton by about 4 miles, and it will be crossing, I think, on this track toward Greer. It's going to be crossing areas like looking at some different Highway 160, Highway 19. So Highway 160 running northwest out of Alton, looks like it's going to cross that highway over the next few minutes, and then it should cross Highway 19 before it gets into the Greer area in about, I would say, let's say 5 to 8 minutes as it tracks northeast at 50 miles per hour.
What's very important, if you have any family or friends in this area, give them a call. Right now, I just looked at the power outage map. Over 100,000 people in Missouri are without power. A big reason why is about 50,000 people in the St. Louis area do not have power. But in Howe County, we're looking at about 2,400 people without power. In Oregon County, a few hundred without power. In Shannon County, about 100 people without power. So many people have been losing power because of these thunderstorms, because of the fast winds. If you know anyone, please give them a call, let them know what's going to be happening. They may be trying to watch TV and they lost power and they don't know what's going to be happening in this area.
Yeah, and kind of getting back to that storm now in Oregon County west of Alton, just trying to get some different highways in the vicinity of that tornado. Just getting a new scan in. Looks like it's just to the south of Royal Oak. Pretty close to County Road 304, County Road 305. So intersection County Road 304 and 305 is very close to where that tornado is located. That is not far to the south of Royal Oak. Looks like, again, it will track northwest of Alton. Should cross Highway 160 between Royal Oak and Huddleston. And that's going to happen within the next 5 minutes. Looks like we have a tornado on the ground. There is now a debris signature showing up with that particular circulation. So, and it's actually, that debris signature is sitting right on top of Highway 160. So I think we've had another tornado touchdown. This is northwest of Alton, and looks like it is going to be crossing Highway 160 here shortly. And it's moving generally in the direction of Greer. So that's why, again, we've been stressing, if you live from Highway 160 northeast over toward Greer, this corridor right in here, please, just to the north of Alton, northwest of Alton, that corridor right in there, if you live, that appears to be where this tornado is going to be tracking through over the next 10 minutes. So again, tornado safe space. You can watch us from your phone, your tablet, until this storm can move on by. And the circulation appears to be intensifying over Highway 160. The debris signature has perked up some here northwest of Alton, so I think we may have debris in the air right now over Highway 160. There may be some debris falling onto the highway there northwest of Alton. That is...
This is a very serious situation.
Yeah, that looks to be about 2 to 3 miles to the northwest of Alton, where the tornado is crossing the highway.
Yeah, we're seeing it develop right now. Every indication I'm looking at right now, we see the CC drop, which is indications of debris being thrown into the atmosphere. We have a tight velocity couplet. This is going to be impacting Greer very soon. This is just one of very many tornadoes that have been moving across this area. It's the one we're concerned about right now. We still have tornado threats. Don't forget about this. It's also approaching quickly past Melbourne and getting towards the Ash Flat
that tornado
area. We have two that we got to watch out for right now.
Still a significant debris signature showing up on radar near Myron right now. That is just to the southwest of Ash Flat. And it looks like that tornado is probably moving right up Highway 56. It looks like it's now making its way into Sharp County.
That's a strong one in Ash Flat. That is,
moving up the highway. If you live in and around Ash Flat, please get into your tornado safe space. Looks like we could have a large, dangerous tornado still on the ground, moving through your area over the next, probably within the next 5 minutes. I haven't tracked that out in just a bit, but let's do that. Just kind of looking again, different radar views.
That is an observed tornado with a considerable tag on it, and it absolutely deserves.
What was that? 50 mile per hour? 50?
Let me double check. I believe it was 50, going northeast at 55, Jamie.
Okay, so that's going to take it into Ash Flat in under 10 minutes. So again, not much time to act right now for what looks to be a large, damaging tornado still on the ground southwest of Ash Flat, moving into Sharp County, and then we'll move through, I think, Ash Flat or very close to it in under 10 minutes. We're also still tracking tornado threats to the north. As we clear this information out and take a look at what's going on up near Van Buren.
Jamie, talking about the tornado that's over by Alton, the Greer area, National Weather Service saying, hey, we're thinking about upgrading this to a considerable tag as well. So we have a considerable tag with the confirmed tornado near Ash Flat, the one in Alton, the one that's over in Oregon County. They're saying, hey, we're going to put a considerable on this too because that debris signature is absolutely there. There it goes. They just put out the considerable.
Yeah, it's there. We'll see what the next scan looks like. I mean, this doesn't look as dramatic. I mean, it's there. It doesn't look as dramatic as some of these other storms, but yeah, it looks like we've got a tornado doing damage. It's on the ground still.
Jamie, tornado emergency near the Van Buren area. So just to the west of Van Buren, tornado emergency has been issued.
Right. This was the storm that, this is the one
that right there is the tornado emergency.
Yeah, so right here, so here's Van Buren, and this is out of our viewing area, but this is the storm that we were tracking. It made its way from Rover, where it looks like a tornado touchdown, and that thing may have been on the ground this whole time. It looks like it crossed through northern Oregon County, and now we've seen that storm move into Carter County. And looks like, again, with Matt just making the observation, you said a tornado emergency being declared with that particular thunderstorm and that tornado that's approaching Van Buren.
The office in Paducah has issued that, a tornado emergency with a catastrophic tag. That is the most aggressive wording the National Weather Service can issue. That is the upper limit when it comes to these warnings. They are screaming that this is a terrible situation that's happening to the west of Van Buren. You need to be taking it seriously, getting into shelter.
And you know, Matt, the other thing that's kind of scary about tonight is these are fast-moving tornadoes. They probably are big tornadoes, significant tornadoes, and they're moving fast, and it's nighttime. That's a very, I mean, if you've traveled through that area from Winona over toward Van Buren, that's about as rural as southeast Missouri gets.
I mean, there was a spotter over in Ash Flat, and he said there was a large tornado. I could only see it when there was a lightning strike, and he was on the roads out in this. Very, very big situation, tornado emergency, 2 considerable observed tornadoes as well. So we got 3 that we have to watch out for at this minute.
It's always so scary when these things happen at night, and especially when they're fast moving and the tornadoes are significant. And that's what we've got right now. I mean, I'm going to swap this out for a different view. But that's what we've got right now. That is the very real scenario that we're dealing with is large, destructive tornadoes moving quickly at night through rugged terrain. And that's what's approaching the Van Buren area very quickly right now. Still have the tornado that looks like still on the ground, I think, in Greer. It looks like we've still got a debris signature just south of Greer. That's where, just southeast of Greer is where that circulation is showing up. Let me go ahead and get the pointer out. It looks like that circulation is right about in here. So it looks like we've still got a tornado on the ground doing damage southeast of Greer here in Oregon County. It is now northeast of Alton, and it will travel generally west of Wilderness across northeastern Oregon County. The other significant supercell that we've been concerned about this evening, and it looks like we've got a new tornado warning downstream from earlier tornado warnings from Sharp County, and you can see that new one. It's a big one, big broad area, Sharp County into Randolph County in northeastern Arkansas. That tornado warned storm still showing signs of producing debris. It looks like we've still got a tornado on the ground. Looks like it is moving into Ash Flat right now. Looks like the worst of it may move by just to the south, and I'm saying just to the south of Ash Flat, but it looks like we've still got a tornado on the ground with that storm. Looks like that tornado is now on the southeast side of Ash Flat and should be moving east and then northeast away from Ash Flat over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Still indications of debris in the air near Ash Flat with that tornadic thunder.
I'm hearing reports of this would have been in Mount Olive. So it's the storm that's over in Ash Flat now. But when it was over in Mount Olive, public reports of damaged homes are occurring in this area. And ever since then, this storm has gotten stronger rather than weaker. And it's continuing to move very closer to Ash Flat. We have some big, powerful tornadoes, multiple. I think we have 3 strong tornadoes on the ground at this moment, Jamie.
And I'm concerned too. I mean, outside of our viewing, I think our severe weather threat is going to be winding down very quickly. But this is an event, and I'll go to this view because it shows radar warnings across the entire region. This is going to be an event, and you could see that line of severe thunderstorms. I mean, look at this. We got tornado warnings all the way down into Texarkana. And along that line, we've had confirmed tornadoes, one that was moving into the St. Louis area. We've had several here in our area, also south of the state line and in north central Arkansas. And this is the type of situation where just because it's nighttime, the severe weather threat winds down. That is not going to be the case. This tornadic episode will continue east into Illinois and in across southeast Missouri and northeast Arkansas into western Tennessee and western Kentucky. In fact, the environment for tornadoes is actually probably better in this area. So we may see even more significant tornadoes touching down tonight closer to the Boot Heel, over into southwestern Illinois, northeast Arkansas. I don't think we're close to being done with the risk of damaging tornadoes with this event in our region tonight. I do think that the severe weather threat locally in our area, though, will be winding down.
And once this gets on the other side of the Mississippi, it's still going to produce some nasty storms over in the Dixie Alley. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a high-risk alert for severe weather chances for tomorrow. That's an alert that they don't pump out too often. We're expecting.
Yeah, what does that look like? Let's show them. Let's go to the map, and we can see. You can see right there. That's tomorrow. That is a high-risk area from Jackson, Mississippi, up toward Birmingham. That is a tornado corridor, and this looks like a setup that could generate big tornadoes, long-track tornadoes. You think back to events like what we saw back in 2011 with the super outbreak in late April of that year, big, long-track tornadoes. That's the kind of environment that's setting up for Saturday in those areas.
Jamie, I'm getting reports. I keep on getting reports from Howell County. They make me sad every time I see them, but this one says, this is out of Howell County. They're reporting a trailer house completely destroyed. They didn't say damaged. They used the term completely destroyed in Howell County. In Howell County. Also hearing reports around the Rover area. Remember when we saw that circulation over into Rover? Several homes reported damage / destroyed. Trees down, power lines down into the Rover area. Thankfully, it looks like Howell County, you're done for the night. You guys got multiple rounds of storms. Another reports from Howell County, they're saying multiple homes destroyed. They're not using the term damaged. They're using the term destroyed. In Howell County, County Road 9000 is where that happened at.
And if you've been watching us, we've been concerned about Van Buren. It looks like that tornado emergency is going to stay just north of Van Buren. It looks like that tornado is going to pass by just to the north of Van Buren. So it does not appear that that tornado will move through Van Buren, but pass by to the north of Van Buren. Still seeing a debris signature with that one, again, to the northwest of Van Buren. So maybe a bit of good news for folks in Van Buren, but still a dangerous tornado likely on the ground north of Van Buren. Still tracking a tornado warned storm to the northeast of Alton. We've got actually a couple of different circulations. We've got one located very close to Alton right now. This is the one that is not, we don't have a debris signature with this particular storm, but there is a circulation. This is the storm that has had a debris signature indicating a tornado on the ground. That moved through Greer, and that storm looks to be moving to the west and northwest of Wilderness. It is now located northeast of Greer and should make its way, I think, into Carter County, following that storm that's now passing by to the north of Van Buren. It looks like there's going to be another tornadic thunderstorm moving into Carter County, that one may pass by just to the south of Van Buren. So again, still watching different areas, different pockets of tornadic concern. I think here as we take a look further south down towards Sharp County, we've still got, again, a very serious scenario unfolding there in Sharp County. Still indications of a debris signature east of Ash Flat. Still a strong circulation showing up. This is between Ash Flat and Cherokee Village. That circulation is south of Highway 62, east of Ash Flat. And it will continue to track. I think it will remain south of Highland, south of Cherokee Village, kind of in a trajectory that would take it maybe toward Williford, further east. So still watching a tornadic thunderstorm that's tracking across northern Sharp County. So we've still got some different areas. We're just about out of the woods. You can see, and we'll go back to this radar view. Come on. And what you'll see is that most of our area is in the clear. We have seen the storms clear out of western Missouri, now areas between Highway 65 and Highway 63. Now areas east of Highway 63, we're seeing that severe weather threat gradually push off to the east. And once it moves east of your area, it's done. Looks like, I think locally for us, maybe another 30 minutes and we will be done with this round of severe weather. Let's go ahead and I'll throw up the, let's see if I can get the reports up. Let's see what this looks like. Right now, you're not seeing any red triangles in the area. Doesn't mean that we didn't have tornadoes touch down. What it means is that the data hasn't been processed yet. But you can see that we have had quite a few reports of wind and wind damage. We've had actually a fair number of reports of hail, large hail. I think some of the larger hail reports have been up to about ping pong ball size, but that potential was there for up to tennis ball size. And where you see some of these different stripes, that is also where we likely had tornadoes that touched down. And if you've been watching since we got on the air, this was earlier this evening, maybe around 6, there are certainly areas where it looks like tornadoes did touch down. Looks like we had a tornado touchdown maybe near Seymour, and there may have been a series of tornadoes that touched down with that particular thunderstorm as it tracked across southeastern Laclede County, then Pulaski County, and then across Phelps County. So I think that that's one corridor of tornado damage. There may have been some additional tornado damage with separate tornadic thunderstorms in Phelps County and Dent County. Another area that we've watched very closely and likely had significant tornadoes touch down, Mountain Home up through South Fork. That really, I mean, it looks like we had a tornado maybe go right through the heart of Gamaliel as well as Bakersfield. And then also it looks like maybe we had tornado touchdowns maybe just to the east of Highway 63 between Brandsville and Koshkonong. Another tornado touchdown near Rover up through Thomasville. That tornado touchdown near the Brandsville-Koshkonong area, possibly on the ground up through Greer. And then right now, it looks like we've had a significant tornado that's been on the ground across Izard County into now Sharp County. So these have not only been significant tornadoes, it's possible that these have been fairly long track tornadoes as well that have impacted parts of our area this evening and now this overnight. Matt, is there anything that you want to add in terms of is there any new information, damage information that's coming in?
The damage information has been trickling in. I imagine once we get in tomorrow, that's when we're going to see more pictures, more videos. Right now, it's just a matter of making sure everyone gets through this storm safely. And then when the sunlight comes out tomorrow, the question is, how badly was it? How many tornadoes did we see? But right now, it's most of the damage reports I've been getting, or I should say the extreme damage reports, have been Howe County, where the emergency manager out there has been using the term destroyed rather than damaged to describe a lot of homes. It's not the only place. I mean, further up into the north, in kind of the Phelps County, that's another area where we saw damages that occurred. You're showing kind of that full map of wind damages, hail damage reports, and appreciate everyone that has been sending in those reports of hail, that has been kind of letting us know what they have been seeing into their viewing area. This threat is not going to end. The threat is just going to shift further east. And that's what we knew going into this event is, hey, these thunderstorms are going to start west of Highway 65. They did, and then it's a question of how badly do they get bad. And they're going to continue to produce tornadoes. People closer to the Mississippi, over in the Boot Hill, you guys are next to get these thunderstorms. They just passed through St. Louis, having tornado warnings happening all across Arkansas. I mean, there's one that just got issued right in front of the screen right there of a tornado warning in southern Arkansas. So the threat is ending for our viewing area. We will be safe for tonight. The weather on the weekend looks pretty good, to be honest, where we're going to have sunshine that's going to start to return, 60s for Saturday, mid-50s for Sunday. Right now, I've just been keeping an eye on Wednesday. I think that's an opportunity we can see some more.
It's another, yeah. I mean, it's another wind-driven storm system, and I think at the very least, leading up to that storm on Wednesday of next week, I mean, we're going to have some days like we saw this week, windy days, low relative humidity values, and an increased fire danger. I mean, that was the story we started out with today: the fire danger, the fires that were erupting, the winds that we saw, and I mean, we haven't even had a chance to really take that in. But we had wind gusts in many spots that either approached 60 miles per hour or were in excess of 60 miles per hour. I mean, we had one report out of Chinook, Kansas of a 69 mile per hour gust. This was outside of thunderstorm activity. This was just driven by the storm system and the wind field around that storm system. Then that transitioned over to the severe weather that's been unfolding this evening. It started over toward I-49 with damaging wind gusts. As it got to Highway 65, the first tornado warning was here in the Springfield area from Battlefield across the east side of Springfield, east of Highway 65 up towards Stratford. And then we went from there. And we've had a succession of tornadic thunderstorms which have been impacting areas east of Highway 65 throughout this evening. It looks like for us locally, the tornado threat has ended. It has now ended in Oregon County. There is still a strong thunderstorm near Alton that it does not appear to be tornadic. Looks like the tornadic thunderstorm that had passed to the north of Alton has now shifted into Carter County. And also still watching that tornadic thunderstorm that is located in Sharp County. That one looks like that tornado is likely, it could still be on the ground. Still could be producing, and that is located to the west of Williford. But again, for our immediate area, it looks like we have seen the severe weather threat now finally come to an end, the tornado threat come to an end and start to shift east away from us. But the night is just getting started for folks in southeast Missouri, western Illinois, northeast Arkansas. Looks like a busy night of severe weather there and a busy day of severe weather across the Deep South. With that said, on behalf of Matt Hefner and myself, we're going to go ahead and send it back to regular programming and pick this up in the newscast.
This is an Ozarks First severe weather update. This is Ozarks First News at 10.
Winds this afternoon set the stage for strong storms, packing heavy rain, hail, and even tornadoes across the Ozarks this evening. As you heard Jamie Warner say just a moment ago, the danger is over for the Ozarks First viewing area, but daylight will reveal the full extent of the damage done tonight. And we are seeing some eye-opening damage pictures and video tonight as well. Ozarks First Jared Henry is live in Seymour, updating the conditions there.
Steve, we've been looking at some of the damage for some time now, and it is pretty widespread and severe. I'll step out of the way so you can see just what we've been looking at here for the past few minutes since we have rolled up to this area. It is just completely, pretty much devastated. Some of these pieces from what we're looking at, I don't even know what they're from. There's multiple sheds that we've seen blown over, and lots of different pieces up in trees. This is not the first one we've seen, and there is a large Amish Mennonite community out here, and I cannot even really imagine being in that scenario. It hailed on us pretty severely earlier. We had to jump back in the storm tracker to get safe. It was golf ball to ping pong ball sized hail. And I did manage to speak with the Webster County Sheriff, and he did explain to me, he did confirm with me that right now there are no confirmed injuries, which is very good news. He told me there were some calls for people trapped in houses from debris, but none of them were injured. And he also confirmed to me that one structure, wasn't able to confirm exactly what it was completely destroyed by this damage, and there multiple other buildings have been damaged. We're looking at some of those now. What you're seeing right now is a house, and then there's a barn next to it, and the barn just have a lot of the panels ripped off the side of it. This is just one of the areas we were at earlier. You might have seen some video earlier that we submitted of another shed that was just completely torn from the ground and thrown everywhere. It was up multiple feet high up in the trees, and we saw a tractor trying to get debris out of the road so people could get through, and they did that very quickly. And we spoke with some of the sheriffs around there, and they told me that no one was injured. Some of the troopers of the sheriff's department around there too, and they did tell me that no one was injured in that either. There's been multiple trees in roads. There's some, you might be able to see some over to the left. There's one tree just completely tipped over, and that one I was speaking about earlier, it was completely tipped over and in the road, and that's part of what that bulldozer managed to get out of the road. And like I said, luckily there have been no injuries, but there have been people driving around trying to make sense of what happens. We've been speaking to a few. There's mailboxes turned over, fences turned over, people trying to make sense of what has been going on out here. And we're going to keep looking at some of this damage. There's people driving around. We're going to try to speak with some of them. And Steve, I'm going to send it back to you. We're going to try to find out some more about if any more injuries have been confirmed or not. Reporting live in Webster County, I'm Jared Henry, Ozarks First.
Jared, the best news in your report, no injuries reported at this point. Let's hope that holds, and when we update the story tomorrow. Here are pictures from Webster County following tonight's storms. These were taken by officials with the Webster County Emergency Management. This is the story all over the Ozarks, damage being seen all over our viewing area. Earlier tonight, officials said that despite all the destruction we saw, only a few scrapes and bruises were being reported along Highway P, which was hit very hard, that area was, and multiple structures were down. You can all see this picture of some very ominous clouds just after the storms rolled through. Jamie Warner and Matt Hefner tracked those storms for hours today, first at our Ozarks First digital desk online and then on air this evening while damage reports from likely tornadoes were pouring in. And Jamie, it seems very likely, right, that multiple tornadoes are going to be confirmed by the National Weather Service in the next day or two. Right?
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be one of those situations where we've probably had at least a handful of tornadoes on the ground. And these aren't just brief touchdowns. These were probably, in some cases, significant tornadoes that may have been on the ground for, many miles, possibly 10, 15 miles, possibly more in some cases. We also probably had scenarios where you had just a really big supercell thunderstorm that produced what we call a family of tornadoes. So you had multiple tornado touchdowns from the same parent supercell. And again, when we can actually get out tomorrow, light of day, National Weather Service, they're going to be conducting that survey work, and we're going to know just how extensive this severe weather event was. Quick peek at our hour by hour. Looks like overnight tonight, again, the severe threat is winding down now. By midnight, the threat of rain is out of our eastern counties. And then as we look ahead to Saturday, it's a cooler, quieter day, still breezy though. There could be some shower activity south of I-44. It does not look to amount to very much, but we are going to go from highs up near 80 today to low 60s Saturday, and then 50 Sunday before we're back to that spring feel Monday and Tuesday of next week. Steve?
All right, Jamie, great job tonight keeping people updated and safe. A handful has sent us photos as storms rolled through your area tonight. Many of you reporting hail. You see some there that were ping pong sized. There were down power lines and even some cloud rotations. We appreciate all of your submissions. Thank you very much for sending them. And others, if you still have photos you want us to see, send us an email at news@ozarksfirst.com. Power outages have been common today and tonight. Gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour sent trees into power lines, and then the storms followed and knocked more power out for even more people. Matt Hefner reporting just a few minutes ago in our live storm coverage, that about half the power outages in Missouri right now are in the St. Louis area. St. Louis area being hit very hard this evening as well. Emergency management officials have been on high alert, watching for damage left behind by Friday evening's line of storm. We visited with the Greene County's Office of Emergency Management this afternoon to see how they were prepping for the storms and increased fire dangers to keep residents safe.
So, of course, as it gets closer, we start paying a little more attention, just like you guys do. We've got an on-call staff, so it doesn't matter if it's through the day, overnight. We have staff that would respond in if needed to keep an eye on those things. This room here is called the Watch Center. It's called that for a reason. We watch. We watch what's happening and alert individuals as needed, or do whatever we need to do to support them out there.
Numerous brush fires broke out this afternoon across southern Camden County, leading to an evacuation notice for some residents there. Hundreds of acres of land is feared charred at this point. Fires were still smoldering as our crews rolled up earlier this evening before the rain and storms moved in. Firefighters will be trying to reevaluate the status of multiple fires that were active before storms moved into the area. The USDA Forest Service has been fighting a 170-acre wildfire in the Mark Twain National Forest. The Forest Service tells us that fire has been burning in the Cassville unit. It's being called the Seligman Hollow Fire. It was discovered Thursday night about 4 miles northeast of Seligman. Several area fire crews responded. The Forest Service says high winds today raise concerns that embers could blow outside containment lines.